You guys hear me now? There we go. That's better. Morning, team. Morning. All right, tight range this week, folks. Nothing's changed yet, right? Nothing has changed yet. We're looking what we're starting to build out. We talked about this weekly range. Fortunately, it's not really playing out. We haven't left this range. So other than Monday, right? Monday set the low of week, and I mean Tuesday. Monday set the low of week. Come on, Alex. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all set high of weeks, which we've not been able to break out of, and we are just transversing in this range here, right? So we're about 400 point range, 400 or 500 point range. You can see we've reclaimed lower Bollinger Band. 5 days started to curl back up. We are probably looking for a back test up here at some point. All right, 20-day and the 50-day, and you know in here is where we broke down from. All right, there is a big cool wall up here. All right, and we will have to see how we act into that. We get more information out of this, as always, in the hourlies, and we're looking at the same kind of thing as we were looking at yesterday and the day before. All right, nothing's changed. All right, I am very aware of these stops here. All right, I'm very aware of these stops here, dating back to the 4th of Feb. So what I'm thinking, is there an echo on my mic? Not that I'm aware of. It's coming from my webcam. Okay, hang on, folks. There should only be one mic. Alright guys, I'm just... Jesus. There's an echo, is there? Not what we needed to start the day here. I don't know what to do here, folks, because it's not giving me another option. Yeah. Is that any better? Okay, worse. How about now? Better now? Much better. Okay, good. All right, sorry about that. Figure out later. Yeah, let's figure it out later. Let's just get through this, team, do the best we can, and then see if OBS wants to stop being annoying. Otherwise, I have to close the stream and reopen it. Okay, so this is the current weekly profile. All right, this is the weekly profile. We've dipped under it overnight and absorbed straight back inside. All right, and we dipped under it and we came down to this area, this node we talked about yesterday, where we said, well, we're probably going to see absorption if we can get down there. All right, that's probably a buying opportunity. We eventually did that yesterday. So we did a failed breakout, eventually came all the way down to there before bidding all the way back up, and we're now stuck in this again. Nothing's changed, folks. There's quite literally nothing has changed since coming to the charts, really Monday morning, all right, from New York session, we are stuck in here. So this is the build out of liquidity, right? In ranges, you tend to want to fade the edges and buy the edges back inside. We have been here so many times. 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th attempt at the high. I'd say down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, we're really stuck. There are lots and lots of stops being developed. My thought process on this is we want to take these stops out here, and I think there is a chance for a bull trap to live in here somewhere. There is a chance. That is what I've been aware of all week. Okay, so I'm wondering if we're going to do something like this and then see some form of failure up here, back down. Maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe 8. Why those levels? All right, 6, because it's an old node. 7, whole number, but 8, old point of control. All right, so I'm really watching 6 and 8. 6 and 8 is a level where I think the market might get stuck if we get up there. If we just do this and we base, there is a long opportunity from, let's say, 440s, 500s, up and towards the 6s, all right? And then maybe if you get lucky, you get 7 and 8. The fade will come somewhere up there, I would imagine. We would go uber bullish if we start reclaiming all of this, okay? Because we will be looking at this side of the move then, all right? So we are technically coming by side of the curve, but I think up here is dangerous. I really want to be buying down here. This is where I want to be buying for this move back up. Otherwise, if they do this move, I think we're liable for that coming back down. So that's what I'm watching today. If we fail this edge again, and keep selling underneath previous day's value area low, then I will look for that fade back down to the 800s. I don't really want to trade inside yesterday's value area. All right, I really don't want to trade inside here. And ideally, I don't want to trade inside here. So I'm going to have to be extra patient today to get that move outside of it. All right, we're going to have to get a real move on here and go through everything else. We're looking at exactly the same thing on the ES and spiders. There is no change, you can see, inside yesterday's range. Here's your initial balance from yesterday. All right, you're pinned inside. There is a slight gap up. All right, there's your gap. All right, maybe they fade the gap and dip it. I don't know, but we are still pinned. There's no edge in here. For me personally, how I trade, there's no edge in here. Spiders, same thing. You can see 3 days worth of price action in here. QQQs, you're going to see the same thing. All right, that's where we're pinned. All right, this could be the spring to go back upside. It's arguable that we can do that. Dixie's still trying to find an area where it can catch a bid, right? It tried. We are also in a range here. They're still making their mind up. You'll probably see the same on metals. VIX, same kind of thing. We're floating under the underside of this. I think this might need to be adjusted because my computer wanted to do an update last night, which is very annoying. Let's broaden this out a little bit. Bring this in a bit. There we go. So still sort of hanging on. Watching the VIX to see if it retests 1675s or not, if we start to get over this gap for a push. Let's go through the mag very quickly. You're going to see the same story here, folks. All right, range. Here's the range. These are what Alex tries to avoid. Here's the range. Look below and fail, look above and fail. Apple opening up, slight gap down. Amazon. Starting to look a bit more bearish here, rolling over. This gap here is important. Do they want to close this gap? All right, so somewhat of a range, fell breakout above, never got back up into this. They had the opportunity to try and base, they couldn't. They've rolled back down. Do they fill this gap now? And if they fill it, are we going bear flag for deeper on Amazon? Goog. Doesn't look great out there for stocks right now, we'll say that. Goog, same kind of story. There's the range after breaking down. So Tuesday, Wednesday fell, now we're trapped underneath Tuesday's low. Right, that's your pivot. So 14s, if we can't reclaim 15s, let's call it, we're going to fail further on Goog. Meta, this is one of the better looking stocks at the moment. It's a bit more undervalued than some of the others, but really we're watching this pin down here. Right, where this big buy came in, they're repricing the whole thing, and yet again, this range now has been developing since last Tuesday. All right, so we're not moving. This is tech not moving while we start to rotate. Microsoft. Right, Softy tried to reclaim. We can talk about this. Big downtrend, failed to break lower, had the push above the pivot, head and shoulders, failed back down into here. So this is where buyers are hanging out. So Softy, buyers are hanging out at 400 and below. If they can hold that, they will have another attempt to reclaim 20s and 30s, or 20s and 25s. Again, a bit of a range really. 400 to 420s, $20 range there on Softy. Nvidia's the one where possible it can get a breakout. All right, it's looking a little bit better, gapping up slightly. We can see we've built out all this liquidity for this downtrend. All right, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If we can get going, you can see I've got price alerts here. If we can get going over that, there's a chance. We need to be very careful of the fail breakout as always. And Tesla's trying to get that recovery, same kind of story. All right, built out some liquidity here. We see this. Here's you look below. There's your shoulder line. There's your neckline. All right, so it's trying to get up to 440s right now. It's trying to hold 20s to get to 40s. Have a quick look at Oracle. All right, might want to flush back down to here soon and recheck that before it comes higher. We will see. Looking a bit better though for the recovery. Hood, lucky we sold on that big drive up. All right, we sold a good chunk of that. I'm still holding some now to see if it holds this for a higher low and has another go at it. So I've got a piece still in this. And Netflix starting to come down to the levels we want. We want to get down to those 70s. So let's see. And these now starting to catch a bid again, which is great. All right, starting to catch a bid. USAR doesn't look so good, but UU looks okay. Let's have a look at some of these semis. AMD trying to claw back again. Range on AMD. It's not great out there. Have a quick look at gold and silver for you. They are doing absolutely bugger all. All right, stuck as well. And silver stuck as well. We went over those levels yesterday where maybe we're looking for a daily on these, which can start to drag down. All right, bounce, fail, somewhere in here, might be short. Same on GC, level in here like we talked about, probably looking for the rotation. If they do that, Dixie will catch a bid. So lots of things to look out for at the moment. All right, folks, haven't got much news today. Zoomed in. Just double check. Yeah, existing home sales, 10 o'clock, and that's it. That's really it. Not much for the day, folks. Not much for the day. Do I pay for TradingView? Yeah, I do. I have like the top subscription, but I think it's on sale now, or it's about to be on sale, so you're better off grabbing it on sale. Thank you so much. Who's that? Blake. Very kind of you. Grabbing me a coffee this morning. Yeah, overall today we're looking at a very choppy market. Basically, we need to see if this market is willing to hold previous day value area high and try and bid, or previous day point of control and try and bid. If we do this to here and failed that, we will come back down for value again. This is yesterday's chop. Yesterday's chop happened in here. Current chop on the week, if we just zoom this out, all right, current chop on the week, where's my blue line? This one, okay. Weekly profile, this is how tight we are. Weekly profile is here to here. Right, daily profile is here to here. Right, very, very, very choppy right now. Building out a ton of liquidity. Right, we do not need to be overly aggressive. You definitely don't want to be buying the highs in this, and you definitely don't want to be shorting the lows. You need to see it leave the liquidity. 30-year auction at 1, yeah, there is, sorry. Obviously, that's after stream. I won't be here for that. Somewhat upsetting that it's not seeing that mic properly. Right, let's try it. Probably need to shut OBS down and start again, unfortunately. I can't, guys, and some of you are probably joining late that can't see my mic. Oh, it's just found my mic, I think. There we go. Back to normal now, I think. There we go. Yes, perfect. A little unplug worked. Okay. Gotta love technology. All right, you have to love technology. Let's see then. Let's see how we go there. So at the moment, can dip down towards the grey box. Previous day value area high has caught a bid. Come up to the current developing weak point of control. So we're just like trapping between the two like we talk about. Let this get through the opening range for a bit. I have left my glasses next door overnight. All right, let me just grab my glasses quick because I can't see it. Sorry, folks. Nothing like a blind man trying to watch a screen. Not a good start. I'm sorry, team. Not a good start. Yeah. Guess who's burnt out right now? All right. Couldn't get his mic working. Couldn't see properly. You're saying it's worse now. It shouldn't be worse now. Good. All right, still catching a bid of previous day's value area high. We're getting very tight down here. I'm just watching all the liquidity come in this area. I'm not interested in trading right now. Like, as you can see, I'm quite genuinely not interested in trading right now. We have to start moving away from these areas one way or another. Give you a quick readout on the mag, and you can see even on the mag, we've got a split book. So Tesla 1.23% up, Nvidia 1.21% up, Microsoft pretty much flat, Meta 0.62% up. Google slightly down, like pretty much flat. Amazon 0.5% down. Apple 1% down. We are a complete mixed bag right now. I think we will want to try and lift into 600 today. That's what my gut says, but it's just whether they've got the juice to do it. And then it's making the decision, do I want to play long up to the sixes, or do I want to let them do all their nonsense and then fade them back down for the fail breakout and the trap? That's where my mind's at. That's what I was looking for yesterday as well. I think we are really going to struggle. But if we do get through sixes, we will probably go eights pretty quick. All right, the reason I'm saying that, when we look at here on the hourly, all right, I'm watching to see, is today willing to move outside of this range and run these stops and come up to here, right, where we have this and this. Are we going to fade that? If not, if we get through that, look how thin we are. We can go straight up to 8. So I really don't want to be long at the top here. I don't want to be short at the bottom down here. We need to see a breakout, hold, and maybe there's a long opportunity up to here, which we then get out of. We see money, take money. If we're going to stay in the range, Alex is probably not going to do anything today. Alex does not like trading ranges, as we all know. So trying to be extremely patient today. We're quite literally not moving here. Market's stuck since the open. Let's get some volume on. Nothing to do, folks. In my mind, we're not doing anything yet. Back down to value area high from previous day again. What is gone on here? Fucking hell. Ugh. That's better. Tech on one right now, clearly. My tech inputs. Make sure it's 20. There we go. All right, so they're still holding previous day value area for now. I'm just watching these blocks like trade backwards and forwards. There's not much going on here. I'm too soft compared to other streams opens. I don't know what that means, mate. I'm not looking to attack when the market doesn't know what it wants to do. Thoughts on orb strat? Yeah, I mean, orb strat is good strategy. If you want to play a 5-minute orb or a 15-minute orb, it won't work every day. You've got to understand the conditions that you're in for it. Yeah, volume pro. I think TradingView's just been on one. They want me to do something. I can't do something if there's no trade here, folks. Like all you noobs who are turning up for the first time, there's no setup right here, right now. Not in my mind. We have to wait. Let's take this histogram box down. Don't want that. There we go. All right, we have to wait. Currently, dips are holding previous day value area high, but you'd have to be fairly brave to be buying that, looking for a rotation up top. I haven't seen enough shorts get trapped down here yet, so we're watching it. I mean, there are sellers coming in under 47s. There is a buying block that got caught at 65. So basically, we're trading 50s to 70s, and that's it since the open. I'm not just going to click a button because you guys want me to. My job's to make money, and it is also to keep you guys safe where possible. So that is what I will be doing. All right, you make money where you don't lose it. Just remember that. It's like going to a casino. If you play like poker and you see someone's, you notice their tail playing poker, you want to sit on that table. You don't want to sit on a table where a guy's not really doing anything, where you're just going round in a circle. There's no edge. Blew my 50k account yesterday, managed to get 9k profit from it. Now I'm back on the horse and go again. Would you recommend 100k over a 50k or vice versa? 50k is fine, especially if you've already made 9 grand out of it. I don't think you need to be giving yourself a harder task in passing an eval, but you know, if you want the bigger drawdown, then obviously you're going to have to go up. Ain't this a bull flag? Someone says. Well, I mean, you could argue it is a bull flag, but where are you placed? Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at where you would be trying to do a bull flag if you're trying to take this. Right, look at this. This has been a grind up the whole time. Grind up. And you are thinking about taking a bull flag right at the top of the range. Right, where we think we can have fail breakout. 20-day there as well, 5-day. We are just trapped. This is a big liquidity building zone. It might very well be, like we talked about, that we're going to start breaking out. But I would rather see it do this and hold than try and risk down here when it's in a range and doesn't really know what it wants to do. So let's see. Okay, got to watch the tape here. Can't answer so many questions. Buys came in here at 70s again. So are we going to find acceptance over 70s to get to 2420s is the question now. So watching now, here comes the 4s. Can they dip down and hold 70s for me or something? Can they show me that they're willing to hold 70s? So here we go back to 70s. Are they willing to bid here is the question. If they are, I'll consider the long. If they're not, which they're not right now, we go right back down into range. No trade. And they had to hold 70s there. So we're back down towards VPOC at 50s again. So that's a failed breakout and a clear out now. And we're coming back down to the 50s. And I will tell you, a big seller last came in at 46s. So buyers now need to protect 46s to keep that seller stuck at the lows. And these guys need to make their mind up what we're doing. Do I keep positions overnight? Only on swing accounts. Okay, back into current day's profile. You can see very, very tight here, folks. So just failed that breakout to the grey zone, failed the 400s, failed to hold 70s. We're right back into this guy at 46 who last got stuck here. And they're trying to absorb versus him at 46. This rotation is going to keep happening. I'm not interested in taking this until this market makes its mind up. All right, maybe this is something that you like playing. Definitely is not something I like playing. Do I trade ICT concepts? I do not. I do not. Unless you want to talk about something like a failed breakout, which he would call a Judas swing. All right, if you want to call that his concept, it's just a failed breakout. Then yes, I would say, I guess I do. If I trade in and balance, okay, back to these 90s. So they protected that seller at the low. Back to these 90s. Big buyer just came in there. 70 lot at the high is now caught at 87s. All right, so 70 lot is now caught at 87s buy side. Buyers, I still think will need to protect 65s here if they're going to get a continuation move higher. Otherwise, they're going to get caught again. ES starting to break out. Zoom this in on ES. VIX trading back down into its block from previous day low. So we definitely have a buyer caught up here in front of 90. Right, we have a 70 lot caught up there in front of 90. We have a big sell lot caught at 58. So we're trading between 58 and 90 right now while they make their mind up. Can the buyers protect 58s and look to take out this high or not? That is what they're trying to do. They've got to get back above 90. If they get back above 90, they have the squeeze on to get to 420s here. Big buyer coming in, trying to step on the tape to force here. Here we go, back to 90. They've got to get back above this now. Very, very important these buyers get above this now for this squeeze. We can consider this if we do it. They've got to get back above this for a squeeze up to 440s probably. So far you can see we're just building liquidity out up here where this player keeps getting trapped. All right, this player right here keeps getting trapped at 88, so 87s you see every time he's adding market size up here. Guy stepped in at 80, we're not getting acceptance higher. Right, we keep getting stuck up here. So where the buyer's caught, a seller is caught down here at 47 and a little bit at 58. So it's just a rotation until we see otherwise. So still no trade for me, still waiting. So failed breakout of 90, buyers caught up at 90s. They're going to trade downside. We're losing VPOC now. And then probably if we lose this, we're going to trade to 47s and test to see if that seller stays stuck. So the rotation just keeps moving. CVD selling, yeah, CVD is selling, but we're not selling. So what does that mean? I mean, we are in the opening few minutes, so you got to be careful. We're only 12 minutes into the day, but if CVD is selling and we're not moving lower, it means there's buying absorption on the tape. Someone is absorbing it because CVD is breaking down and the market isn't. So you've got very aggressive selling here and someone trying to absorb the tape. So until this guy who's absorbing the tape gets out of the way, if and when he gets out of the way, you might get a big sell. But if he doesn't, you're going to get divergence with CVD where we can potentially squeeze higher. And that's what I'm aware of right now. But we have buyers stepping in here, again, being aggressive, trying to protect the 47s. If we start breaking under 47s and under VWAP, there's probably going to be a sell. And we can watch under previous day value area high for this rotation for gap fill, I guess. Right, so here they go. So the sellers coming in here aggressive at 47s again. Very aggressive at 47s. Do they get follow through now? I'll be waiting to see if we get back inside yesterday's range. I don't really want to sell in front of that. So the sell for me, if we're really going to take the range, which is very dangerous, would have to be like this. Partials into here. The buys will be protecting this. I'm not really keen on taking this for this move up here. I'm more keen on taking it when we let these buys out. Lots of sell side activity taking place here at 50s and 47s. Lots and lots and lots of sell side activity here taking place. We are not moving lower. There is someone trying to absorb the tape. How much he can absorb is only he knows how much size he's got today to absorb. So right to VWAP. They're going to try and sell through to previous day value area high. We can look now to see if we reject this to move lower. All right, here's the rejection potentially. Oh, you got to give me a retest here, you fuckers. You can't do it in one go. Don't you do this in one go. All right, watching to see if we trade back up and reject now that we've traded inside it. Got to come up for me. Cannot chase this down here. Right, watching to see if we come back up. Be very, very careful. ES now at VWAP. So waiting to see if we come up and offer a rejection anywhere up to 46s, anywhere from 28s to 46s. I would be interested in the short if we trap buys and reject it. If we reclaim it, this would be a look below and fail, especially if we fill the gap and hit 280s already. So you have to be willing to play both sides right now. So we are watching for something like this down to here, or this down to here. All right, we need to see if that pop down to there. If we reclaim this, I will not play short because it means this will be a look below, especially if we do this first. It means we will be efficient and then reclaim and go. So waiting to see if this drive up is resold into or not. Needs to come up a bit higher there. We've definitely caught shorts at 310s, need to be aware of. Needs to come up higher for me to be interested. You need to come up higher for me to be interested to get this, please. No, you fucker, you're just going to fill the gap now without me. All right, gap fill there. Oh my god, nasty bugger, nasty bugger. So as soon as it left volume, all in one go. We just needed this, all in one go down. Some of you got it, nice. If you got that, congrats. Okay, and the next cover is here, previous day point of control. And if we lose this, your next cover is 33s, right? 2 33s now. And if you lose that, your next cover is 140. So I'm not in this short currently. Unfortunately, it hasn't given me an entry that I want. But you can look for covers into here, all right, 30s, and then all the way down here. If we're going to rotate the whole of yesterday's value, all right, then that's what we're going to do. You need to be paying yourself some now already, all right, because you're at previous day open, you're at previous day point of control, you're under previous day close. Here's the rip back up, back into the orb. We have a shelf here at 10s, so sellers need to reject 10s if we're going to get follow through. 10s to 18s, basically. 10s to 18s need to be rejected. Basically, this grey box, it's this node above it, though. It's right here. This needs to be rejected if sellers are going to get follow through. Big if right now. So I'm looking to see if sellers are going to look for follow through. If they're going to look for a retest of that kind of area and resell it down, and then I will look for the short. I want to see it lower, please, folks. Please. Sorry, higher. I need to see it higher first. Please don't just start going without me. I really want an entry here. Come on, give me a second leg up. Come up, come up, come up, come up. Get through those 300s. Here we go. All right, waiting to see if we can get up to 10s and how we operate when we get up there. Be very careful of a failed breakout here. If they reclaim like 10s and 20s, this thing can scream. So just looking for this drive up to be sold into. They retested 300. Some buyers got caught there into 300. Still not high enough for me. Can't get my entry. It's very close. I'm looking to get short up here right now. So the short I'm looking for currently is kind of around here. I'm looking to see it come into here for this next leg to see if we can come all the way down. It would be TP1 into this and TP2 down into here. But I need it to lift a bit first. They're just going to keep selling it. Alex is not going to get his entry today. They're too heavy on the tape. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. They are puking this. All right, so next cover point here into sort of 30s, please. Why into 30s? That is your value area low on the developing week since the Sunday open. Once you get under that, you can look for this move into 141s. I would say even down into the 110s again, like yesterday. So this move here to 110s again. 110s, this grey box. Same trade as yesterday, right? So partial here, and if you get follow through, we're looking for here. And then we can see if today they really want to let go and get down to that previous weak point of control. The fact that we still haven't taken out this block here, though, makes it a little bit tricky because we haven't run all the stops yet. So this is the trade I'm still looking for. We need to be careful if they take all the low-hanging fruit out first. Biggest bullshit ever. Not really. I can't trade if it doesn't give me the setup. We're waiting for it. It built the liquidity. Oh, you guys are fucking morons. I'm just not going to even bother. I'm not going to give it time. Okay, waiting for a 10s retest here, somewhere up there. Possible they reject 90s here based on this node, but I would much rather they squeeze up here first. Mag rotating. Tesla's given a lot back now, just 0.5% up. Nvidia 1% up. Microsoft 0.72% down. Meta 0.33% down. Google 0.14% up. Amazon 0.72% down. Apple 1.17%. This thing's puking now. Just need an entry. Very aggressive selling here. I just need an entry here. Please give me something. Give me something to get involved in. There's a seller at 250 now. They just want to keep diving this down to fill those imbalances from yesterday. Seller at 250 and then at 275s. There's the 250 check. He's still there, 77 lot. We're very, very thin through him all the way up to 275. So we're coming back towards that 275 now if they can reach it. So watching this 250 over under right now. They squeeze to 75. So there you go. There's the squeeze to 75. All right. Are you going to give me an entry here? Are you going to give me an entry here? They're still selling 270s. I don't like this shorting down here really. It's got a chance to get to 310s before I do anything. I'm watching 270s here if they trap this buyer. Good wall there. Held up well. Do they squeeze to 10s? They're going through 70s now, so potentially back to the 10s like we talked about. Here we go. So back to this level. So from current week, so the person who said this is bullshit, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, this is your current week value area low developing, which we just covered into, right? We're coming back to PDC and we have a node here. So yeah. Told you what I thought was going to happen. It just didn't give me the entry. I can't control the market, guys. I really cannot control it. I'm looking for a short on a retest up here. I'm watching 90s. They just rejected 90s. 10s would be better if we can lift in towards 10s. Somewhere up here. We need to be very careful if we're going to hold this all day. So I'm looking for an entry to get short at the moment. That's a good rejection of 90s. Buyer just got caught at 70 there on that last lift. Definite buyer got caught at 70. So we're watching him right now. See right here, Buyer just got caught here at 70. So if we're over that, he becomes comfortable and they can squeeze up to 10s. If he keeps getting stuck here, we've got a chance to move lower. So I'm watching this level. It's going to trap the sellers. I mean, it's a very heavy tape. At the moment, I don't think so, but it's possible. I'm just looking for a bigger retest before we go lower. If we start breaking down here, I'm going to be forced to put some on, which is not what I want to do. But maybe under this, I can add heavier. Guy's still at 70s, and he's lifted to 80s now. Here they go. They're going to look for the squeeze back up now. Okay, so maybe we're going to get the 10s test. Maybe we can get this 10s test. We want to be careful. If it reclaims this level here, we're going to go squeeze straight the way back up, right? So 90s again. ES back to VWAP. So it just poked back to VWAP and got sold into there. See how they act back there if they reclaim. Very washy here. A bit like yesterday, right? We're just still in a range. Need to be very careful. This is the value area low on the developing week. So we need to be careful here. We're looking for a retest for them to trap buyers that we can sell into. If they don't trap buyers, this thing will just squeeze all the way back up and there's nothing we can do. This is nice into 90s. Some buyers getting caught here into 90s for sure, but it's still stacking sellers above all the way to 300. So still waiting here to see if I can see this flip. Starting to see aggressive sellers come back in. Watching 70s. Under 70s, I've got a piece on now. Under 70s, I've got a piece on now. They reclaim 70s and make me very uncomfortable here. Oof. Stay under that. Stay under that. Do not give me a squeeze out here. Stay under 70s. Stay under 70s. Don't like what I'm seeing. I'm out. I'm out of that. Don't like that tape. Wait for the retest of 90s again and we'll see. Maybe they fade this again. Maybe they go to 310s. Big buyer keeps stepping in here. So he was uncomfortable at 70s. He got back above it. I will consider trying again here, the same move. Maybe they go 10s first is what I'm very aware of. Okay, back to these 70s. This is the big level. 70s is the big level. A close under 64 will be a very good close. Sellers got caught under 60, which you need to be very careful about if we're going to see follow through or not. Is there anyone up at 10s passively? There's a guy at 20s. No one at 10s, right? Think we can break down here. Big seller coming in again. Still holding these sort of 70s levels. Really want to get back in this here. We're letting go at 70s now. Got a little piece back on again now in case we're going to do the flush now. We've got to stay heavy though. Second attempt here. Here we go. Get under this shelf. Get under this shelf. We need to get under this shelf. Oh, I don't like it if we can't get under this shelf. We need to get under this, which is currently holding. Come on, get under it. Close under it. Close heavy, please. Come down to the 50s and wash them out. We've got an imbalance in front of 50s. Here we go. Get under this shelf. Get under it. There we go. Okay, get under this 50 now. Nice. All right, let's see if we can get follow through under 50. Buyer here stacking up in the imbalance. Can we get a wash under him? If we get wash under him, we should get a new low of day. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Big seller stepping in, moving my stop down now, looking for a new low of day. Here we go, folks. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Had to be so fucking patient just to get this. Bids showing up at 25s now as well. So this grey box, if we get under this, we're looking all the way down here. Okay, little piece off into this grey box. Here we go, folks. We're looking better now. So we didn't get the lift all the way where we wanted it. Had to play it here from 70s. Okay, I'm TP1 into this grey box already. All right, and I'm looking for this down here now if we can get there. Lots of buyers stacking up to 25s to 200, so we can cover some in this next flush. Come on, fill all these lot. There's a big bid down at 200. I think we're going to get it. There's a 236 lot down at 200. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. All these people yapping at the beginning of the stream. Shh. Be patient and wait. Just be patient and wait. I do give you edge. You just have to wait. I can't do anything if the market doesn't give me the entry. All right, we had to wait after a big flush for a build out of liquidity and someone, this guy here, to get trapped. And now we use their pain, which is what we're doing. So if you're new to stream, please just be willing to sit and learn for a minute instead of trying to attack me when I'm trying to help you. All right, here into the 210s. Can we get all the way down into here? News coming now, so if you want to move your stop, you can move it tighter now. We've got news coming in the next, 2.5 minutes. So buyers are currently keep coming in at 221. All the time that stays heavy, we can move lower. Nice. Very nice. You can see it right here. Is the 220s. This is where the buyers are caught. So we need that to stay heavy. Might be that they give a little price back up to 30 and resell it. Be very careful. Sellers at the low here. This is not good. 210s. That's not a good look. We do not want sellers caught at the lows. We do not want these sellers caught at the lows at 210s. So any break over 220s or definitely over 230s, I will cut this now that I've seen that. Do not want these big sellers caught at the lows. So it's still a chance to break lower, but if we break over 220s, I'll cut. Get under this guy. We need to go to 200s now. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. Here come the 200s. The 250 lot down here, folks. Be very careful. If we sell through this guy, we should get 185 quick. And we've got some imbalances. 190, 185, and 167s. Get through this guy at 200. Come on, fill this guy, fill this guy, fill this guy. Get through him. Be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive. Get through him. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, covering more here. And let's see if we can fill these imbalances and get all the way down into here. So 185 now. We're filling these next lot of imbalances that we talked about. All right, just here, this imbalance here. We're filling this. Big sellers at the lows now, so just be aware of that. You do not want to be adding now at these lows. We're looking for a wash all the way down to 145s if possible. All right, really good, folks. All right, really good. So currently, if you just got this one with me, you've made what? About 80 points. If we get down here, you're going to get your 120 pointer. If you got this up here, which I was waiting for and couldn't get, you're up 190 plus points already. Okay, big seller at these lows. You do not want to reclaim with 200 and 210s here, folks. 200 and 210 should stay heavy. Definitely at any break about above 220s, this thing can rip. Here we go. Wonky on this news. Be very, very careful. I am down to tiny size now, covering some more just in case. So just looking for this final TP and maybe even down here if we flush. Let's fucking go. Shh, on stream. Shh, 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 shh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Here comes the news. My stop is now moved to 201s. All right. 201s. My stop's now at 201s. Why? Because of this guy here. All right. Because of this guy here. I'm not willing to see it spike and rip this whole thing back up. So my stop's now 201s. Let's go. All those W's in chat. Maybe I'll move it. I'm going to actually move it to 203s. All right. I'm actually moving it to 203s only because there's a little imbalance at 201, 202, just in case. So I'm at 203s for a tiny piece left. About to get knocked out and I'm out. There we go. I'm out. Fine. Brilliant trade. Happy with that. We can still think about short if it rejects 222s, but I just didn't want to give too much back. So here's into the 222s. If they reclaim 222s, they can go straight up to 64s. So this is what I did not want to get caught in. This is why I'm being careful. Great trade, guys. All right, I'm going to have like a 2-minute break here. Mentally, I mean. A 2-minute break here, mentally. Just let this do what it wants after news. We are coming. Nothing's changed. I want you to understand one thing. Current week's value is here. Current previous day's value is here that we talked about. Current day's value is here, all right? All we're doing is ranging between this and this. I just didn't want to buy up here. All right, and I didn't really want to sell like yesterday unless we clear that out would be the idea. But once we trap enough, all right, you can see this flush. I'm looking for a retest to get short. It just didn't quite fill me up here when I'm waiting, so we had to play this one here. All right, so if we think about structurally, bear flag, breakdown, bear flag, breakdown, and we use a buyer who's trapped for their pain. All right, so there's the lift back up. So hopefully you guys should be pretty much out of this. And you could think about a reshort here into 64s, but obviously the news has just come out. We now have lots of sellers caught at 200 and 187. So remember we said these selling at the low. Look at these big blocks down here. You can see them here, 200, 187. You could even argue at 210. All right, so back probably towards value area low here, 260, and then make a decision. So just let this do what it wants a bit because we are in a range. All right, if we trap enough sellers at the lows, and we take low-hanging fruit out of the lows, we can always think about the long back up. Rob Miller, great job, Alex. Another payout for me. Nice. Nice. Can I go long now? It's a good question. I would say you're fishing, right? If you hold 210s, you could argue there's this move back up. The one thing I'd say is this is a low-hanging fruit down here. All right, this here is previous week close, and this here is previous day's value area low. We haven't taken it out, but it's possible. But currently, the trend is this, right? So you would kind of need a fail to break lower, and then a reclaim to get long. Otherwise, this can still happen. Remember, this build liquidity. This can be a liquidity build to come back down to here. It can still do it. So I don't love the longs at the moment. This is a bit like what we had up here, right? Once the sellers got caught, right, we've moved away from them. Once the buyers got caught, we moved away from them. We've not come down and retest and held. We didn't come up and retest and hold, all right? So it's tough unless you love, if you like trading breakout inside ranges, I mean, it's never something I would ever do inside a range. But if that's your strategy, then you could argue there's positions for you. Okay, so if you're looking long, you need a hold of 220 and 200s, all right? And you would be looking for a relief. You haven't got much room here to 260s and 280s. I personally would not be looking long here. I think we can still move lower first into this, personally. But it is up to you, like I say, it's up to you to manage your risk. The short air was better, yeah. I would say, look at the node, right? Think about the node. Where did we just reject? Where those buyers got caught, all right? So the short here is better, and you'd be covering some into 220 and 200, wouldn't you? So if you just took this short up here where the buyers just got caught in this node, you can see buyers got caught topside. I'd be covering some into here now, 200 and 186. And if we break down lower, you're still looking for 145. So this level here is massive. This 200 level is massive. You can see they're covering into that 200. Exactly what I would be doing. All right, so you won't see this unless you are using order flow. All right, so the reason I'm specific with my levels is it's not a guess based on a candle. It's an actual level where we have people caught. All right, where we have people caught. You don't have to use footprint. You can use Bookmap. You can use whatever you want. You can just use the tape, and if you can read this right here. All right, you will see that if we came up to, or down to, I should say down to 200s, right, you see this guy here, if it would just stop jumping around, we have a 231 lot seller caught at 200. And if we come up a little bit, we're jumping around, sorry. We're jumping so much, I can't move it fast enough. There, 210. All right, 210 as well. All right, so there's lots of ways to see it. Find a way that works for you. I have all three up in case I miss one, right? So it's like in case I don't see it on one, I probably see it on another. What's the other chart I pull up? Ninja Trader. And I use something called Twin Peaks. It's just an order flow tool. It's just footprint. That's all it is, with delta down the side. So I have delta on the vertical axis. So right here, I have delta. Okay, so they held, look what they just held, 200s, right? They held 200s, right? So we're coming back up to value area low on the day. We have a node here. If we move this up, right? We have a node here, don't we? So we just held this node here. In this node here, like we just showed you, there are shorts trapped, all right? So buyers have tried to absorb this. This can still be a liquidity build to go lower. This is what I'm trying to say to you. So maybe some of you bought that 200s, like we just talked about. You better be selling some into 40s, and then you can see if you can get up to 60s, and you can see if you can get up to 80s. But just know this can be built out, all right? This could be a 1, 2 to come lower. This is all I'm telling you. Manage your risk. If you are taking longs today, you are counter trend long on what we've seen this morning, but technically you are playing value, so it's not the worst. You are trying to play discount back up inside, but I still think there's a chance to come back down here first, but we will see, folks. Will there be a third push to the downside? Very possible. I think we have low-hanging fruit to go for. But like again, you can be short here at 40s and you can be long here at sort of 210s, 200s right now. This is, look at the nodes, right? This is where we're building liquidity. If they get under 200s, right, we will revisit 185. And under that, we will make a new low. All right, under 185, there is a seller at 185. So back towards the 10s again. All right, under this, under 10s, we go 200s. If they don't hold 200s, we will probably go 185 and then see a new low. So if you're short from this grey box, you're covering a piece here because you're short near the low, right? So if you're short here, you're covering a piece here and 85s and then holding for this. Here you go. So in towards 85s now. See if they can get you down to the 85. So you're holding 200s, 200s, 200. You want 200s and 210s to stay heavy, and you want to be covering into 85 and then holding for a new low of day into 145. Here you go. So here's towards 85s. You need a new low of day now. Here it comes under 85. That's your new low of day. And now you're looking for 145s. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. Am I planning entering then? No, I'm just taking a chill for a moment. It's not because it's not a good setup, guys. It's because I'm also like having to deal with my own, let's call it stress right now. So I'm just like trying to manage how I trade. I'm trading much smaller size without my accounts linked at the moment. Not because the charts aren't good. The charts are amazing. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't fully trust myself right now because I have a huge amount going on. The biggest stress I've ever had in my whole entire life, in my 40 years on Earth, going on off the screens, which means I need to be careful on the screens, right? Okay, so you need a 200 rejection here. If you're short, you want to see 200, sort of 202 or 200 to 209 must reject. 200 rejects, then you are good to look for this down here to hold on to this short. So if you are short in the grey box, you need 200 to stay heavy. This level here must now stay heavy, right? You want that to stay heavy, all right? To keep those sellers comfortable, you must now see this, all right? And you are covering here and then down into here. If they reclaim 200, I'd be very cautious because you can see an imbalance at 220s to 230s be filled quick. So I wouldn't really want 200 and 210s reclaimed. At the moment, you look good. Look, it's rejecting 200s pretty good at the moment, but you just need to make sure. I would have my, you know, if I was short from that grey box, I wouldn't want a 210 reclaim, or let's call it 214 to give yourself a bit of room based on a node I'm looking at. There's a seller up at 220, a 300 lot. So he's looking for the imbalance. I wouldn't be letting it come all the way back up there. So here's 200. They're testing 200 over and over and over again. You want them to step back on the gas and trap these bulls here now, which they're trying to do. Can I explain how to identify whether a buyer or seller is trapped on the footprint? Yeah, just use the delta on the footprint. So they're trying to lift. Look at this spoofer. Spoofer at 220 is just left. Big buyers coming up here into 210. So this is the level, right? 200 to 210s. You do not want them to rebid 200s now because we just traded through it. Good rejection of 210s. You're okay. You're still okay. So they just trapped a big buyer up here. 100 lot just got trapped into 210s up here. All right, 100 lot just got trapped. Let me see if I can get it up. Right, look at this, squeeze back up. This buyer just got caught. Someone just asked, how do you see them? This is buying. This is aggressive market ordering buying, right? Same as here, aggressive buying. We use their pain to move lower. This guy just got caught. You now need to trade under 85s again. This guy here, you want to trade under this guy, and you should see a collapse. So 85 still a big level. I think you look good now to hold because we just rejected the 210s. So the grey box just rejected. As long as you trade back under 85s now, you should come to 75, and then you should see a new low of day. So under 85 now, you should come 75, and if they get under 75, you'll see a low of day. You do not now want 200 reclaim again. It's been too many times. I would be starting to considering getting out of this fully if it starts to reclaim this. I'll probably be out now at this point. Doesn't mean it can't move lower. Look at these, even on the tape, but you just managing your position at lows is hard, right? Get you on Bookmap. See these big buyers stepping in, 157 lot, 27 lot. Where's he stepped in again? 200. This is a huge level, right? And we had a spoofer up here at 220, right? So we got these big guys stepping in. They're starting to hold 200, right? If they break through 210s, if we zoom out, right? If we break through 210s, we're going to visit this guy who's trapped up at 230, right? And if we break through 230, we're going to start revisiting these guys at 250. Do I consider fair value gaps? I do not. I do, but I don't use them in the same way as you guys using ICT. So if I tell you there's an imbalance, all right, for me, there doesn't have to be a gap on the screen. All right, it's a quite genuine imbalance. All right, so I've got some imbalances up here on a 5 minute. Right, but these are actual volume imbalances. So they might line up with your fair value gaps, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes the imbalance will be in what you call an order block because it's a true imbalance. It's not that fair value gaps don't work. They do. They work. I'll tell you when they work, when there's an actual imbalance there. When they don't work is when there's a gap on your screen, but in the order flow, there's actually no imbalance. That's when your fair value gaps will fail. Which data feed do you use for Bookmap? I use the one that Bookmap provide, CME data. If Alex goes to the restroom and get coffee at the same time, I bet you get the ultimate trend in the market. Yes, it's true. Should we try it? Should we try it? Should I go to the bathroom and we'll wake up and we're 500 points lower? How do you get footprints on TradingView? There is a free video on my YouTube, mate. I'll post it for you in chat now. You will need the, what do they call it? Is it Premier, or I always call it Pro and it's not Pro. Now is a great time to upgrade on TradingView, by the way, because they have a big sale. If you do want the footprints. Right, I'm going to find the video for you, my friend. But yeah, go to make sure you're checking out my YouTube channel, guys. Not for me, for you. There's lots of stuff on there on how to set up things like footprints. Right, I'm going to pop it in chat. Where is chat? So whoever just asked that, this link here I've just popped in chat. That shows you how to set up footprint in TradingView. Can we short now? I wouldn't be as keen for the short now. Buyers are starting to step in, aren't they? You're coming back to this same level, to the 50s, right? So I would now say shorts are caught at the lows. Shorts are caught at 285 and 75, right? So you had one opportunity, right? You had your first opportunity. It doesn't mean we can't trade lower, but I would need to see more buyers caught, right? So you had this and this down to here. You want to be very careful now. You now know under here shorts are caught, right? So if buyers keeping these shorts caught, we can drift back up. So we've got this node here. If we get through 40s, we're going to visit this node here at 70s. And by the time we get there, we've probably got VWAPs. All right, I would say over 80s, look at this low volume node. You want to be very careful. So if they reject this here and we see buyers caught here, which arguably might be starting to happen, we could think about a reshort for the lows. The difference is now, the first time we came down, think about the structure now. Right, if I make this make sense. The first time we came down here, was there any structure? Is there anything down here? No. The second time we came down, is there any structure? There's a little bit here. We broke below. Now, if we short, is there any structure? Yes. All right. We have this structure here now. All right. So now, if we short, we have sellers caught underneath us for the first time today. All right. So you need to think about that. Same as when we looked for this short here. All right. Think about this. When we're shorting under this, do we have structure that we can use? Yeah, if we can get back into there, we can use these buyers trap to move lower, which is what I was looking for, the retest, when the guy was like, this is bullshit. Whoever said that in chat, it isn't. This is how you play proper trading, right? We don't guess. If you are taking a breakout short here, for me, inside a range, a breakout there is very dangerous. Very dangerous that doesn't happen to you, which is why I wanted it to lift and show me. I wouldn't be thinking short at this point. We're starting to curl. We're probably going to go sideways for a bit. Right? It's possible. It depends how far they relieve. It's possible that we develop in here for a bit. Right? And then we can see who gets caught. If they catch buyers up here, we can think about that sell back down. If they catch sellers down here, we can think about that rip back up. I don't want to trade sideways. All right, this is what I'm saying. Let me just back off the charts for a minute. Let it decide. 250 is rejecting well there. We have this node here. Let's just make sure these are all accurate for you guys. Right. This should be great. So I didn't get this one, unfortunately. Maybe some of you got this one. This is the only one I got today. Which software do I use for using the trade? Have you applied any contract volume filters on the tape? No. Actually, there's a filter on my DOM on for the bubbles on Ninja. But yeah, I use Footprint on Ninja via Twin Peaks. I use Footprint on TradingView, the one that they give to you for free if you pay for premium or whatever it is, and I use Bookmap. That's how I see them. Yes. So JB, what does it mean when you say fair values gaps work when there's an imbalance? I thought the gap was the imbalance. So this is what I'm talking about with order flow. Okay, so how can I give you an example of this? If you were to look at the candle at 957, where's that? Is it this one? Make sure this is the right one because it's going to 957. It might be 58 on here. 9. Okay, this candle here, right? This candle here. So it's 56 on it. It's 57 on Ninja. If you were going to draw out a gap, right, you would draw it out like this, wouldn't you? If you were doing a fair value gap, let's just do this as red, right? That would be your fair value gap. The truth of the matter is the gap in there was at 30, right? So the gap in here, the only gap that actually existed was down here, was this, right? There wasn't a gap up here. Orders were filled. There's no imbalance up there. That's what I mean. So I know where the actual gap is. It's not like, oh, I know. It's not like I'm a genius or magic. Footprint's showing me where that gap actually is what I'm trying to tell you. So here. Can I move this over? Here. All right, so this is just on a 5 minute. These are imbalances. These are true imbalances. We have some old imbalances underneath us. You see how we come down to true imbalances? We find a bid. All right, true imbalances, we find a bid. These are not, you would not even see these on your chart, on a 5 minute chart, right? Because you don't have that data unless you're using Footprint. All right, that's all I'm saying. The concept of fair value gaps is a good concept, but sometimes there's not actually an imbalance in that bar. More precise, yeah, more, and they're not mine. I don't want you to think like, oh, I made this. I did not make Footprint. I did not create imbalances. All right, this is not my. I don't own this. I'm just trying to teach you the difference between a true imbalance and not. Okay, so they just bid again off what level? What level did we just bid off again? 200, all right, 200, which is now point of control, which is where that seller is stuck. So this is what I talked about. I'd be less inclined in the short now because we know sellers are caught under 200. We've talked about it numerous times. Sellers are caught at 200 and at 85. If they can get a lift through 40 here, they can come and test 64. But I'm not going to trade what I think is very possible to be a sideways range down here for a bit. We'll avoid that and let it develop. Let it develop. We're just going sideways, right? This can be a sideways build. I want all you guys that are saying, is it long now? This can be a sideways build to go lower. I don't know what it's going to be. I want to make that clear. Main trend is down. This can be a sideways build to go lower, but we will go lower when we get under 200, under 85 for this move down into here. But ask yourself, what's the risk reward here? Not great. If we get down to here, it's pretty good, right? The best move here, if we're going to go short, the best move, which NQ just feels unwilling to do today, would be to swipe up, trap breakout buys here. Think about how many breakout buys would come in here and reject that. This would be your spring, all right? And we could use this then to move lower. That would be the easiest and best move. I don't think NQ is going to do it because it hasn't done it the high for us, which we've waited 2 days for. But you never know, folks. You never know. We might get lucky and get it. It looks like your candles are easy algo on TradingView. No, these are my flow zone. This is my system. It's my system. There might be a thing very much like my system, so I don't know. Okay, 1,700 of you watching. We are setting records here every day for the stream. I love it. Smash that like button for me, folks. We will stalk this next trade. We're going to stalk this next trade. Thoughts on TradingView footprint versus NT footprint or Sierra? I prefer NinjaTrader. Here we go. We might get it. We might get it. Let's see if we trap big buyers. Oh, hello, Mr. Buyer. Mr. 383 lot at 350s. Let's just see how trapped you get up there. All right, so we just caught someone. 334 lot at 850s just got caught. Right at 850. So if he becomes the breakout buyer, we can use his pain to move lower. So if we retest him and we stay heavy, there is a chance here that we're going to use his pain to go lower. And that's ES rejecting view up as well. So let's see here. It's too early yet, but we are watching this. This guy might end up being the liquidity we need to move lower. Yeah, at 250, right here, right at 250. If we look at Bookmap, at 250, look at this guy here, 334 lot. He just got caught up there. All right, he just got caught up there. So if we keep him stuck, we can trade lower because he will start stopping out. Right, and that's what we're looking for now. We're looking to see if we can use his pain. Very well, this is what I was talking about. We might poke through, run these stops, trap a breakout buyer. This is what we just had, a breakout buyer or a short sell stop. All right, here. And if we then trade under 200, this can really start puking back down because now we've got some size caught. Now we've got some size caught. Well, we need to stay heavy versus 250. All right, so watching this to see if we stay heavy versus 250 and if we see more buyers get caught and we reject it, if there's some selling up there, and then if we can break under 200 and start puking. So anyone who does like a Wyckoff, this could potentially be a Wyckoff. Fail breakout, right? Under 200, this move here. This is what we're looking for. I don't always wait for the retest of the trap buyer. No, it's just that we're holding 200s or 210s right now. So I'm assuming we're going to come and fill in an imbalance up there and see if they keep him stuck. If we come straight under 200 and stay heavy there, I can join there if I want. It's not ideal. The location's not ideal down there, but the momentum would be good. So let's see. Do they let this guy out or not? At the moment, no is the answer. They can't get back on into there at the moment. Trading right at point of control. Don't want to enter around point of control, that's for sure. So we're either looking for them to trade up and reject it to show us, or to trade under 200 and show us. Either way. We don't want to trade in this location here because we're still building liquidity. It's possible that we get back above 250 and we squeeze all the way up towards 300. So we don't want to be early here. We don't want to be early here. We want to see this reject and this ideally, and then we can probably get this move here. This is what I'm going to look for if we're going to do it. I want to be very careful because if they reclaim this, this squeeze up here can happen very quick. That's the first imbalance filmed. The next imbalance here is at 41s. So again, you would not have an imbalance here if you're trading ICT. I have an imbalance here up to, well, 40 or 41s here. Back to VPOC, back to these 10s maybe. Can we get under the 200s is the big question. And we can start selling. So that's a good rejection so far. We haven't let that player out. I want to see us move under the 200s for a big confirmation here. Still holding here. I want to be very careful because we're building. There is an uptrend starting to develop here. So we're just trying to see if we use this big player and come under 200s and then we can snap. Remember, we must remember these 200s, right? Because we have big sellers caught down there. Right, so if I show you here, right, this player up here, I know it says 79 lot. He's actually a 350 lot up here. So this is the guy that we're trying to see if we're going to use him. But we must get under these guys for confirmation. These sellers are stuck, right? Right here at 200. Maybe I've got to move this up for you. I don't know. right? These sellers here are stuck at 200. This buyer here is stuck at 250. So a 50-point range here being developed. Once we get either side of that, we can see what happens. There's that imbalance tag. Back to point of control. So imbalance just got tagged. Sort of 39 into 41 there. And we're still holding point control. It's just the way it's calculated it. I don't know why, but I know for a fact there's a 300 lot up there that got filled because I can see him on Bookmap. It's 334 lot was the buyer, but it probably just paired off in terms of size. But I know he was a 334 lot. I can see him. Are we bullish on structure? For me, no. You're sideways on structure. You're probably bearish overall because this is your swing high. We have not been able to get over it. It's a failed break. This guy here is who we're using, right? So if we think about structure, this high made this low. This is a failed break right now, right? This is where we trap the guy. So all the time we're doing this, this is possible. We get over this, structure can change, but I'd be somewhat careful being bullish today. You'd be better being bullish if we do this and clean it out, I would say. So let's see. All right, imbalance now fully filled into the 41s. So that imbalance that you would not have seen, like we just talked about, you do not have that imbalance if you're not using order flow. We just filled that imbalance into 41s. We still have this player caught at 50s right now. ES trying to find a bid off its 5-day moving average. Still no entry. Here's the retest towards the 50s. If they let him out, we can squeeze. I'm not going to play the long. There's still no short because we're not under the 200s. Still not letting him out at 50s. $50% off the course, mate. You're never getting 50% off the course. Are you joking? It's $699 for 20 hours. It's not like I'm charging $3 grand. $699 for 20 hours and Discord and an indicator. I mean, it's not. No, you're not getting 50% off. Sorry, mate. Okay, back to the 20s. Back to VPOC. Why has it changed my VPOC color as well? It's flipping annoying, mate. I have to tell TradingView to remember this chart because I'm worried it's gonna skip it again. There we go. It's like 399 or 499 for the indicators on my website. Okay, 50 is still trapped right now. And we've got some buy-side imbalances now stepping in. All right, so in this current candle, they're getting quite aggressive with the buys. They're trying to force it up. So they're being very aggressive. Back towards the 50s. We're testing this guy at 50. Remember, if we let him out, there is a squeeze up to 80. I'm not going to trade it. There's through the 50. So he's potentially getting let out unless they're going to trap more guys here. Still stuck at 50. So this guy's still stuck. Market slowing down here. That guy at 50 still caught. Still caught. Technically the delta on that is 118, but he was a big lot buyer. He was a thunder. Still caught. He's still caught there. Back to VPOC again. All right, so back to 23s again. So 50s to 20s is the rotation. Under 200s is the continuation, I would say. And it's tempting here because he is definitely caught up there, but we keep holding this VPOC here. VPOC again. Do we let go of this and go 200s now is what I'm wondering. Big seller trying to step in here at the 20s, not getting his way yet, still being absorbed. I can't talk properly today. I'm watching if they let go of this. If we go to 200s and what we do. We're just stuck here. We've got to get under this and then start rejecting. Here we go. Can you see follow through here, Mr. Seller? Still being absorbed down here. I think we're going to go 200s, and then if we get under, we can have some fun. Here we go. Is the move to 200s. We've got a small piece in this early. And here we go. Right, let's see if we can get under this and have some fun now and go for a new low of day. So we want to watch 85s now. Small piece on only still because it's not giving me a pullback to get into. So if we reject 200s now, we'll add into this. I'm going to cover some into 85. Need this sell to stay heavy at 200 now. Need this sell to stay heavy at 200. Big seller stepping in here. We want 200 to reject here. And I will add on. Come back up a little bit. And let's see if we can sell through this. Nice. Here we go. Covering some into 85 if we can because there's a seller here. Here we go, guys. Here we go. The exact trade we just talked about. Okay, we want to stay heavy versus 85 now, ideally. This is the exact trade we just talked about. The guy at 50 became the liquidity for us. We retested him at 50. We broke under 200. And now we're going to see if we can stay heavy for a new low of day and get down into 140s. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All the sellers are now comfortably in the money. Comfortably in the money, these sellers now. We should break lower. There's no reason, really, for us to not break lower. ES just made a new low of day. Just be aware of that. ES has just closed its gap and made a new low of day. We must be aware of that. Where are we at the Qs? Coming to the 10s, maybe. We need 200 to stay heavy here or our cut. I will not let a squeeze back over 200 happen. Did cover some into 85s like I talked about. Please don't knock me out at 200s and then do your usual shit where you go to 210s and then puke and then Alex has not got any position on. So far, so good. Risking 201s for me now. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. We're on the 85s. Let's go. Accelerate. Just flush it. Just fucking flush it. Flush it. Come on, ES is doing it. Come on, NQ. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Everyone's doing it but you, NQ. Stop fucking about. Go, 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 go. Give me that big fucking candle. 3, 2, 1. Half a second. Here it comes. Give it to me to the IB and then crack. Come on. I'm willing you to do it. I want them to stay heavy at 85 now if possible. I want them to stay heavy at 85 as possible. They're back through the 85s. Don't want to squeeze out here to 200s, really. Come on, please stay heavy here. We have divergence to ES, which has cleaned out these lows, right? We're trying to take out these lows to get down here right now. Please. Come on, NQ. Stop being a pain in the butt. All right? We've got relative weakness in NQ, and it won't fucking wash. It's quite annoying. Do not want a reclaim of 85 if it's possible. Like, it can come up to 200s, but I'd rather we stay heavy at 85 here for a wash. Come on, come on, come on. Just do it. Just swipe it down to 145. Hit. Oh, one lot filled there into previous week close. Give me it. You're finally coming. Come on, baby. Come on, we want 45s. We want this grey box, and then we're runners down here now. All right, we want this grey box, and then we're runners down here now. Really good. Here we go, folks. Here we go, folks. Here we go, folks. Pew 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 pew. This was all from that guy getting trapped. So maybe you guys are starting to understand how we trade over here at Flowzone. The main trend was down. We needed someone to get trapped. I talked about this happening before it even happened. All right, we talked about this happening before it even happened, what I would look for if I wanted to play more short. We're almost there now. All right, so this guy here, this 300 lot, he got stuck. We retested him, he stayed heavy. We broke down once we let go of 220s and 200s. I had a small piece on. I added in here once we stayed heavy at 200. I covered some into 85 here just to be proactive. I'm looking for some cover here and then here now. And I don't want to hear anything like you didn't know what to do. I literally told you exactly what we were looking at way before it happened. Come on, come on, come on. We want 160 to stay heavy now. Here we go. Get me those 45s. Get me those 45s. Get me those 45s and then let's tank. Let's go. Watching ES very closely. It's coming into its 20-day SMA. Okay, just be careful there. Well, you know that can be a bid opportunity. Let's go. Let's go. We're almost there, folks. We are almost fucking there for the next TP. We should probably draw this out, shouldn't we? Right here. 200s reject. I was in a little bit earlier than that. I did tell you. Peace out into here. And we are going to look now to see if we can get this. But we are peace out into here. Okay, be peace out into here. Here we go, folks. TP1 hit. And now let's see. Here come the aggressive sellers. Maybe, Peter. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if we get lucky, we will get those 24,800s that we were looking for yesterday. It's possible. All right, it's possible we get this. It is possible. I'm not going to rule it out. We want this, ideally. If you get this, there's going to be 400 points. All right, but we're looking for this now. This is the next point we're looking for. So we're TP1 in here. We will get 135 points down to here. All right, and we'll see if we let go of that. We are going to respect 110s again, okay? These levels that we're at, we must respect this. This is, I'll show you why, this grey box. Same levels yesterday where we covered yesterday. It's exactly the same trade. High time frame. Right, remember this node here from the previous week. This is what we respected yesterday. We covered into it. Look at the reaction here. All right, we will respect that. We get under this node, I'd say a break of 25,030. We'll start to opening up this room to 960s and then down here. Remember, this is still naked, right? It's still naked down there. But respect this node, please, from the previous week. Pay yourself some money. And this grey box is this node. It's crazy, isn't it? All the guys at the beginning of the stream, like, do something, click something, do something, do something. All you've got to do is wait. Like, you have to learn to wait for the setup. You have to learn, all right? The whole principle of the market, this is not me preaching. I'm trying to help you, all right? We will get good moves when we build liquidity, when we build liquidity, when we build liquidity, especially when we do a failed breakout with someone trapped. That's when we get good moves. We do not get good moves when we are building liquidity. We get moves when we use their liquidity, when we use their liquidity, when we use their liquidity, all right? That is the same on higher time frame. It is the same principle. Do not get caught into their bullshit of playing in here. Or look, if you're a range trader and you want to do that, do what the bloody hell you want. But for me, I would much rather be in this than be in this, right? This is easier for me to manage my stop and be patient in. This is frustrating to play in. Okay, let's see now, folks. Bottom of this box, we're looking for a break outside of 110s, ideally, and we're going to see if we can get into 25,059s. I will check gold when I'm out of this trade, bud. I know a few of you asking for gold. I promise I will check it all. Let's just get through this first. All right, there's 1,800 of you watching, only 700 likes. Let's smash that like button for me, please. Okay, Alex, you're the best educator. I love the way you explain stuff. Finally, the trading makes sense. Why it's doing what it's doing. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Great. Alex, can you explain as to why you're comfortable not to get a swipe up on the last 9 red candles? That always scares me. It's just, I mean, it can swipe up. It can always swipe up. Sorry, croaky throat. It's more about who's stuck where, right? So all the time we're under 21s, there's a seller, right? So why am I comfortable right now? There's a seller here at the 21s. If we swipe through 21s, we have a little bit of buyers and an imbalance here. Again, an imbalance you might not be able to see, but an imbalance here. But all the time we're under this, look at the aggressive sellers. They keep stepping in. We're going to get this fill, guys. We're going to keep stepping. Look at the aggressive sellers stepping in. This is why I'm comfortable, because the tape is heavy. It is a heavy tape. Big seller down here at the lows, 150 into 100. So you could cover some into the whole number here. We have a big seller here, but we have a 200 lot.
trying to cover some into 25,085 right now. I still think there's a chance to move lower here, folks. There could be a snapback for sure. We're very steep and extended. We're trying to get down to here. This is an obvious liquidity level. We're under the hundreds at the moment. So big sellers stepped in at 100, at 110, 122. Here we go, folks. Here we go, folks. Let's fill this guy at 85, and hopefully if he pulls his bid or we slap through him, we will get this filled down towards 60. Here we go, folks. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, big seller just got a little bit caught into 90. All right, there is a passive bid down here at 85. I still think we will take this guy out at 85. He's here for a reason. 250 lot down here at 85. We should be aware of it. You can cover some into this. I'm going to try and get all the way down into here if possible. I'm watching this node. Where's the edge of this node? It is where we are right now. Okay, we need to be careful on the previous week here. Definitely need to be careful. Pay yourself some if you haven't. So we're bidding in front of that 25,085. We haven't taken him out yet. All right, if you like, where are you seeing him? Look at Bookmap. All right, there's a big 200 lot right here. All right, we just sold very aggressively into him, 120 lot into him, but we haven't taken him out. I want to see this take out, flush down into these 60s for us, and then we can be pretty much done with it. Pretty much done with it. You do not want to reclaim of 122, just tell you that much. You do not want to reclaim of 122s here. There we go. Get through this guy. They're trying to protect 95. Let's get through 85 now. Let's accelerate through 85. Let's accelerate through 85. Let's get this cover if we can down here. We need to break 85. They keep trying to put a bit of a wall up here. And also it is the 20-day on the SPY. Let's get through 85. Let's get through 85. Here we go. 85, 85, 85. Get through them. They're trying to stack here. Get through them. We're starting to bid here a little bit. We should swipe. Here's the 85 test. Get out my way, Mr. 200 lot. Please get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out. Huge seller here. We filled 200 of that. So big seller here. 241 lot. If we can't get breakdown here, I will take the rest off. There's a big seller coming in here trying to force us through the 85. We need follow through. We do not want this guy stuck. 222 lot stuck at the low right now. We need follow through under 85 for the snap down. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's huge sell side delta down here. We must see a breakdown. Here we go. 85s. We need follow through now. If I do not see follow through here, I will cover. Think we're going to get 60s. They're now adding down to the 60s. We might get this full cover, guys. Be very careful. That is a huge seller down at 85. It must stay heavy under 85 here. Come on, 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 come on. Do it, do it, do it, do it. ES looks great. Everything looks great. Come on, E. Come on, NQ. Come on, give me my final TP. You mother clucker. Bidding off it. Be very careful. We need to flash through 85 hard here. They cannot hold this on a retest. I will cover if they hold this retest. I will cover at 100 if they hold this retest. Stop. It's going to move to 101. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Give it, give it, give it, give it, give it. Go, 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 go. Step on it. Step on it. Do not fucking reclaim. Step on it. Like I said, stops move to 101. The reason being that the last pain point for the seller was 100. I do not want it lifting through that whole number. And we're looking for 60s. Come on, stay heavy. They can afford to pop right up to 40, so I'm not going to let them do that. For me, it can stop me out at 101s if it's going to do it. Very tight to stop me. I'm out. Out and a runner, that's fine. We tried, folks. It was good. It was good. But there were too many sellers down here. There's a big seller here at 115. 475 lot at 115. I'm not going to sit through this. So we can wait. We can think about a revisit up. But the reason I covered here was that big lot down here getting stuck. All right, this, again, I can take you to Bookmap. Oh, fucking hell. If they do it now, I'll be upset. But I'm going to miss my TP. Never mind. All right, so the reason I covered that was just this guy here. All right, 186 lot, 187 lot, 245 lot. All these sellers getting caught at these lows. We were needed to see breakdown under 85. All right, and they have just pulled all their bids down here into 60s, which is where I was looking to trade. So we can afford relief right back up here, which is why I do not want to sit in this and give too much back. You guys can hold here, I guess, technically. all the time we're holding, but I just didn't want to give too much back on this spike, because if we hold now over 85, they can revisit 122s. If they redo that, they will probably revisit 145s, and if they get through 45s, they can revisit 180s. But you might get your move here. Let's see. You might get it. I'm out of it though. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Too much selling at the lows without moving lower for me. All right. Sorry we didn't get all of it, folks. We my final cover here was here, wasn't it? So we got 92 points. I mean, if you covered the lows, you would have got oh, sorry, we got over 100 points. Well, I'm reading the wrong thing. You would have got 120 points. I got 100 points out of that. We almost got this move down here. We can watch for a revisit, but look how thin we are. So we're developing nodes here. We know they're starting to get some sellers caught down here, right? So if we start reclaiming this, we're pretty thin up to here, right? You don't want to get caught in this, which is why I've covered down here. It might be that they reflush it, but that's fine. I need to manage my position how I'm comfortable with. Hey, brother, just started the course. How do you apply for Discord? Gak, scroll down to the very end of the course. You'll see there's a module all about Discord. Just do that. Probably Karim. Alex, you did wonderfully. The cheering helped me get resolved to join the short. Nice. I traded 125 shares of SQQQ. Nice. I'm up $60. It's small, but it's a win. There you go. 100-point banger. 100-point. They're going to do it now that they've fucking taken me out. I don't like this spoofer on the tape, so probably if I didn't see him, I would have been more willing to stay in it. So this spoofer here, this 520 lot, you can see he was here at 10s. So once he came on the tape, you can see no one was here, no one's here, no one's here. Once we got to this point in the day, I don't know what time this was, 10:46, we had a 400 or 500 lot come on the tape trying to attract price come up. Came up to me, lifted. That made me think, no, I'm not sitting in this for sure. He's now up at 520. So he's trying to get them to lift price higher, which is not what I wanted to see. If you get a re-breakdown under 85s here, you might get the full TP. Maybe some of you are still in it. I'm out of it, like I said. I'm done. Does the course teach you the grey boxes? Yeah, it's just volume levels. It does. The order flow course teaches you. You don't see the bookmap. It's right above me. Did I have you on the wrong screen? Sorry, this one here. You see it now? This guy here. So he was on the tape here for a second. Once we came into it, he lifted and he's added 500 lot higher. Right, so he's trying to attract price higher right now. And he's a spoofer because when he was here, he lifted and went back on the book with the same size. So he's on the book for, I don't know, a second. Maybe, let's see when he came on the book. He came on the book at 10:45 and 46 seconds. He was on the book for a second, just a literal tenth of a second, and then as soon as he came on, he lifted. Still think there's a chance to trade lower, but I can't get an entry here. We are trading far too low. So now I've lost location, right? We have momentum, I've lost location. First time here, thanks a lot, you're welcome. Do you need Bookmap to trade as well as you do? Not necessarily. I just something that I found very useful for me. But you know, each to their own. Like, there's a million ways to trade. Like, there's a million ways to trade. My way isn't the only way. Thought spoofing is illegal. Yeah, well, it is. I mean, you can argue he's a liquidity provider. Spoofing never gets prosecuted, no. It's very hard for them to track it. How can you track it? If you put an order in and pull it off, how can you not? You could just say, oh, well, I like that price and then I didn't like that price. It's very hard. Just wanted to say I was 1,300 down on my new 50K account and now I'm only down 670. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. William, you're the best trader in YouTube. You're welcome. Thanks, man. What's it called where you can see the buyer and seller volume trapped on the right? This you can't see the buyer and seller volume. You can only see volume. This is anchored volume profile. When I show it on my screens, it's delta volume profile. Alex, can I swap from Tradeify to Ninja? Yes, you can. If you trade with Tradeify, you can get Ninja. It's the same mother company. If you can only buy one, would you prefer Footprint or Bookmap? Well, Bookmap has both. So it's up to you. It depends what you prefer reading. So look, we're trying to lift up to this guy now. It's 500 lot. It's trying to attract price higher that we just talked about. You can see him above me on the screen, right? See this big red line. He's got a limit order here at sort of 37s, 500 lot. Do I trade prop firms or live capital? I trade both, but most of my live capital goes into swing positions. You don't have to do as me, but this is my game, right? This is what I do. I trade prop. I make my money from prop. I take it out. I put it in investment accounts. I swing in those investment accounts. I probably make arguably more money in my swings than I do trading props over the course of a year. You only need 1 or 2 really good swings to go your way, and it's you know, you can get 500-600% gainers in swings in a matter of months. We had the last big one was open last year. We had I don't have any big movers this year because at the moment I'm positioned mainly in mega cap. I'm mainly looking for this market to pull back aggressively for me to position in. So we made 20% on Robinhood from last Thursday to before earnings. I'm just holding a small piece of that left because I still think it's a bit of a pig, but there's a chance we're due a little bit more. Really depends what this market does, but either way, I'm up on that. I've got a small piece in IBIT. I'm long Meta, I'm long Oracle, I'm long AMD, and I'm long Apple. Apple and AMD I've been long since like June, August last year, and we sold a lot of our AMD for big profit. I'm only small size left. I'm waiting for this market to do a decent pullback. I'm also long Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, US rare earth, and UUUU. All right, so I'm actually down on those positions very slightly, but I'm small size. I'm just waiting. But these are swing positions, all right? So with stuff like Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft, IBIT, Meta, Oracle, AMD, Apple, I'm looking to hold for many months, if not many years. Right, you're getting the breakdown now, guys. You're going to get full TP. So they rejected this grey box. You should get full TP. Under this, all right, your next TP is a little bit in here and then all the way down here. So I'd be covering some into 58s. Oh, you just wonder, is today the day? Is today the day? But this green line, you must cover. A very aggressive seller down here again. 324 lots on Bookmap, selling at 75. So green line, I would be covering, 80+% of your position here. And there you go. There's your green line. So I'll be taking a good chunk out here now, folks. God dang it. Had to stop me out before doing it. It was that spoofer on the tape who got me stopped. If he wasn't there, we would have done it in one go. What a pain in the butt. All right, there's your TP. So there's your 140 pointer. What is this grey box from? Oh, this is an old node. Okay, so there is some liquidity here previous week. Under this, I wouldn't cover some here. If you've covered here, don't cover more here. Don't bother. Wait and see now. Next low I'll be looking for is here. All right, so I'd be covering 80-90% of your position and just hold it now. See if you can get this blue box, or ideally, you might get a 400 pointer down into this. 800 would be your best cover. What do I think about CPI tomorrow? I have no idea. If they cook the books, who fucking knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter if the print's good or bad. They're going to do whatever they want with it. I really don't care what they do with the prints. But it's not looking good. If you look at like what's going on with the treasuries and bonds overnight yesterday, it really is not looking good out there for this market. It could get very dangerous very quickly. I would have preferred if this market had done the failed breakout like we talked about. So for bigger moves, this week what I really wanted to see was this move into here and a big sell and cover some here and see if we use that and then we come lower. That would be really nice because we've now got room on the daily Bollinger Bands, whereas last week we didn't have room. Right, so if we think about how we trade in flow zone, now the Bollinger Bands are expanding. 20-day, 50-day cross. We're looking for 5-day to come back down again, Bollinger Bands to come back down, and traps in here to resell down to here, and maybe start doing one of these for a bit until maybe the Q hits 200-day. If we haven't undercut this yet, I'm still waiting to see an undercut there. A run of liquidity on this for a drop down into here would be really good. All right, and if you're like, that's way too much, it's really not. Off the highs, that's really not. It's only 12%. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. This market might do a lot more than that if it starts to get ugly. But that's what I'd like to do. And I've already positioned, if you think about the stocks that I'm long in, right? I'm long in tech that's down here right now, right? It's already puked all the way down there. Doesn't mean it can't go further, but that's where I've started position. So if we think about like ORCL, just look at like the software stocks, right? ORCL. I think about where we are. Here we go. I've positioned myself long in here. All right, looking for a rally back and sell into pops. Some of these are pretty weak. Softy, same thing, right? We think about where we are. Position myself long in here to see if we can rally back. It might be that it undercuts and drops, but that's fine. I'm going to hold this forever. So position myself long in here. So we're waiting to see, does the market want to do the same thing? I mean, that will, we'd need, NQ would need to come down here for a catch-up trade, right? But a QQQ is what I'm watching to see if it wants to go to its 200. That's, there we go. Right, does QQQ want to come to this? Right, we have relative strength in the cash market versus the future market. Does QQQ has not retested this level since 9th of May. Right, do we want to come down here? Remember, NQ has been rebalanced, has had numerous new contracts. We are waiting to see, can we get down here? All right, and if we get down there and break, are we coming down here? If we're coming into any of this area on the QQQ, I'll be long-term swing long in cash, all right? Not in anything leveraged. You could take leaps, all right? I'll be long-term swing long, as in 5 to 10 year swing long in like a retirement account. So a Roth IRA for me and ISA. Hopefully that makes sense. But again, I am not a financial advisor. You should be managing your own account as you see fit. Yeah, I call out swing trades in Discord. Yeah. Every time I say box, it reminds you of Formula One. Yeah, box. Lewis, box. Do I come live daily? Yeah, live daily, Monday to Friday, 9:15 open. All right, 585 lot here at 25,000. We are absolutely puking here. This market is heavy. Absolutely no reason to bid on this market today, by the way, folks. In case you were looking for longs, look at the VIX. There's no reason to bid on this. We are approaching the old high here. Is it previous day or previous week? Wednesday, Thursday. We're approaching previous day high here on VIX. So I'll be watching that level on VIX. Yes, already under previous day low. We're under previous day low. We're watching these boxes and maybe down here. Honestly, maybe down here. I'm not joking. I'm being very honest. You might get a 400-point move today. Using a volume footprint, if you get the chance, show how you can see trap traders on the last huge trade. Okay. See if it showed it on the footprint. All right. Think about this bar. Right, we have an imbalance on the sell here. See this imbalance? Right, we go sideways here for a long time. We fail to break higher, we sell. This is the first point of the sell. We sell down. The next part of the trade here, let me just make sure I'm getting my timings right here. What time is this? 10:30s. Yes, that was what we looked for. So 10:30s. Yeah, this is the guy. So remember when we were going sideways here. So we caught this flush today. We played this short today, right? First short we played was here to 300, and we add and we're out. Right? Once we go sideways, this is your liquidity building stage, because we know the market doesn't go straight down. The market goes here, here, here. Correct? Right? So far, all makes sense. So if the liquidity building part, if we think about this as a range, all right? If we think about this as a range, this is the range, I do this as a yellow box, right? Stay with me. Hopefully you can see it. This is a range. What happens at the top of this range in general? What happens at the top of this range? Think about newbie traders. There's a break of 25,000, folks. You're still moving lower. You've got a chance to go 24,800s. I'm telling you, if they get aggressive. All right. At the top of this range, what happens is breakout buyers come in. All right. Breakout buyers come into this market. They think we're going to squeeze higher. What else happens? Shorts who are positioned here have their stops run, which means what? A short seller who gets his stop run becomes what? A market buyer. All right. So if we've got short sellers who become market buyers because they get stop hunted, and breakout buyers here, what does that mean? We get lots of buying activity at the market, aggressive buying. What does that mean? It means an institutional passive seller can pair off. Remember, no deal is done in the market unless we have an aggressive buyer and a passive seller, or a passive buyer and aggressive seller. They have to be both sides. So in here, what happens? This is where all those big buyers come in. Look at this delta. There's the failed break. And we don't move higher, which means what? There's a passive seller sitting here. And then we move lower. How do we know he's stuck? We retest that level, 250s. Remember, he was stuck at 250s. There is his retest. We stay heavy, okay? We know there's a passive seller who's not going to let him out. We break down. We start looking for joins, all right, as we break down. I joined a little piece early, but where I really got heavy was under 200 because I knew that the seller was originally stuck at 200. There was a seller here stuck at 200. Once he got out of the money, we got a break. We come to the other side of the range. All these buyers now stop out and become sellers in the market. All right. Same thing. This is the same thing here, guys, where I stopped out, except we've now done it. We go sideways. We fail to break higher. We trap buyers. We break down. We go lower. Right. We go lower. Hopefully that makes sense. But again, do the course, folks. If you want to learn more about this, I'm giving away. They are not, well, they are advanced principles, I guess, but just do the course. Do the course. You'll learn all of this. I know, Bart, you've done the course, so. Exactly, Dean. Stuck players become liquidity. Alex just joined it. Is it too late to short now? Well, we still letting go. All it is momentum's great. Your location is very, very poor now. You can maybe think about rejoining somewhere up here. All right, maybe there's a rejoin up here. If they build out, maybe they do a 2-leg, get stuck, roll. If they're going to do this move, but I mean, it's much harder now. Remember the main short we wanted today, it was all the way up here. We wanted to short up here. Once we broke down, we were looking for a retest of 350s. The guy was so impatient today. Oh, you're shit. Or whatever he said. I'm just like, all right. So our first short today was in and around these 270s. And our second short today was in around the 200. So we look good. Let me check liquidity on the tape. Really, you need to stay heavy versus sort of 18s and 20s here. There are some sellers starting to get aggressive under the 25,000. So you can use that whole number. Like I said, I think 800 is possible today. You can cover some into this blue box, but this is very possible today. Very, very possible. How can I join the course? Links pinned to the chat above, or just go to flowzonetrader.com. Can you trade just using footprint? Yes, you can. This is anchored volume profile on the right, guys. Long here? No, I would not be long here, guys. Just why? Why would you be long here? Okay, we've come into an area of interest, and the tape's very heavy. Is there a reaction? Have we changed state? Or are we just going to keep knifing through? Like I said, it's very possible we come down to here today. You would need to see a reaction to get long. You would need to see this, reclaim, hold, leave sellers trapped, reason to go higher. You are not seeing that right now. You are seeing a blue box thinking, oh, I'm just going to try it. Well, what happens when we do that? This is where people go wrong. Just because we come to an area does not mean anything. It is the reaction in that area that matters. Alex, any advice in fear of trading? I keep selling early. Yes. lower your size. Lower your size and just move your stop to each swing, all right, and move it down and trail it. If you lower your size, you'll probably be more willing to sit in it longer. My cousin was the guy here yesterday blaming you for his losses. He apologizes and says your speech genuinely set his mind straight. Much love. You're welcome, Real Race Films. You're welcome. And like I said yesterday, it wasn't done in hate. I've been him. Every trader goes through that. I can remember getting absolutely cooked on a short when I thought I had perfect position and I had like 2 or 3 attempts and I got cooked 5 figures and then it fucking puked after it spiked me out a few times, and I blamed the guy I was trading with because it was easier to blame him than it was to look at myself in the mirror. And you know what? He stopped out 2 times for small losses, took the 3rd trade, and he had a fucking whopper of a trade, and I blamed him for it, and it was just me. I've been there. Every trader goes there. It's so easy to blame everyone else. But you know what, guys? That is a lesson for life, because in life, the importance of, I'm going to get preachery here, Guru Alex, and I'm going through this at the moment. The importance of self-reflection is massive. All right, if we go through life blaming everyone else for our problems, if we're constantly like, Lord, why are you doing this for us? Or to us, this person's an asshole to me, this person did this, right? If you go in that negative mindset, if it's everyone else's fault, you fail to look at yourself. And at the end of the day, you've got to look in the mirror. You've got to be able to tell yourself that you love yourself. You've got to be proud of how you go about your life. You've got to be able to put a flag in the ground and be like, this is who I am. And I don't mean your ego talking. I mean core key principles, all right? Key parts of how you act. Can you self-reflect? Can you find acceptance? Can you find forgiveness? Can you find love? Can you improve as a person? 1% better each day. Can you stop pointing the finger at other people? Can you look within yourself? If you can do that, you will improve trading very, very quickly. It is the hardest skill in trading, like I always talk about. The hardest skill in trading is the ability to change, all right? Some of you will probably be here and you will chase trades, and you will keep chasing trades and keep chasing trades and keep chasing trades, even though you know you keep losing and getting it wrong. Can you journal? Can you stop yourself doing it? Can you change your habit? All right. Same as bottom pickers and top pickers. Guess who used to be a top picker in the market? This guy, right? This guy used to pick tops all the time. Guess who used to add to losers? This guy. Guess who's blown up lots and lots of accounts? And I'm not talking about prop firms. I'm talking about pig money accounts. This guy. Guess who had to have a fucking hard look in the mirror and make some changes? This guy. All right. So when I say stuff like this to you, it is not digging you guys out. I have been there, and there is no trader in the world, or a very few amount in the world, who have not gone through these journeys of like making errors over and over and over again and not making the changes. It comes from being a better version of yourself. Trading is going to show you all the bad parts of yourself. I promise you. It's what it will do. It's the biggest stare in the mirror you will ever see. And you know, the person on the other side of the trade, if they're better at reflecting at themselves than you are, they're going to win, right? They're going to win. We think about this here, right? The person picking bottoms again and again and again and again, all right? The person doing that versus the person who's waiting for them to get trapped and playing the momentum, right? This guy wins because he understands patience. This guy doesn't understand patience. Or the girl, or them, or person, I should just say, I'm sorry. Right, same as here. The people that were trading in here, wanting to click buttons, not learning from their mistakes, wrong. The person who's learned that mistake, we're going to wait for a failed breakout and look for a trap buyer, and then we're going to play their pain. Easy money, right? It's not because I'm amazing. It's because I've learned doing this is how I blow up accounts. Okay? It's not me better than you. No human on earth is better than someone else. We are all made equally. All right. So that's all I got to say. Just trying to help you guys. So I'm really glad to hear that whoever said that to you yesterday, I hope it's had a big impact in their career. It's so funny. I do all that, and like the first thing I see is, what are your anchored volume profile settings? That's not a dig at you, Chris. It's like I'm literally asked that 100 times a day. It's so funny, even though it's Nightbot keeps posting it in chat. All right, here you go. Width 20, placement to the right. Ticks, I have it to ticks, not rows, and I have it to 2. You can have it 1,000 rows if you prefer. I have it to 2 ticks. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. Who's this? D. Carson Davis. Thank you. Thank you. James Bond says, I was humbled like that, and God humbled me. We have to take responsibility for our own actions. 100%, buddy. 100%. Yeah. Such deluxe. Are you talking about me? Yeah. Well, if it sounds like I'm talking about you, I'm talking about you without talking about you. I'm talking about all of us, right? Absolutely all of us. We're all the same. Dazix Gaming, see you tomorrow. Yeah, take care, mate. Have a good one. I took my P&L off the screens when learning the process. Yeah, I think honestly, I think that's a great thing to do. Don't trade P&L, because it's not the winners as well, it's the losers, right? Here's another big thing. You know, I say size down all the time. It's not just for like to stop the swings. Your mentality, if you are the wrong side of a trade, if you are the guy trying to get long here, for example, right, and you are using too big a size, when this starts to drop, even though you know I'm wrong, right, if you look at your P&L here and it's down $3,000, right, you won't stop out. That's too much money for you. So you'll add in, and then you'll be down here. This is, again, talking from experience. You'll be down here, and now you've added more size on like a moron. Now you're down $10,000. And now that's such an unfathomable amount of money to you. You are completely unwilling to stop out, even though your stop was up here. Your first stop is the best stop. You didn't take it. So you add on more, right? You add, so you're losing more. And now you're down $25,000. And maybe, you know, if you're trading stocks, that's your PDT. And maybe Mr. Broker says, hey, you've been margin called. You're fucking done. And then what happens? You crawl in bed to your wife and you cry. And you can't believe what you've done, because this felt like a huge vortex and you knew you should have stopped out and you didn't. And maybe you do that another time and another time and another time and another time, because you don't self-reflect. You just blame it on something else. Oh, it's the market makers. Oh, it should have done this. This is what I used to do. I'm telling you, it's what I used to do. That's fucking them. They fucking do this. Truth, Alex didn't have the discipline to stop when his trade was wrong. That's the truth. That's the truth. There's no way of getting away from it until you can admit that to yourself. That's the truth. To get good, you got to suck really bad. Once the fire burns you enough, you'll learn. That's it. Yeah, I always say, you're going to ride a bike, you got to fall flat on your face. Right? You have to fall flat on your face. I don't have a wife. Well, then you're probably just crying to yourself or your dog, or maybe you got a fish. Maybe you're crying to your goldfish. I don't know. But you get the point, right? You get the point. Is 860 final target? 800 for me. I'm out of this, folks. I got knocked out here, unfortunately. But my final target is down here. All right, it's not to say that we won't bounce before we get there, but I would think this is a naked point of control. This is where I have thought we will trade to this week. This is what we had in the weekly newsletter. This is what we tried to play for yesterday. This is what we've been prepared for in Discord all week. I would have preferred to see a failed breakout of the highs, the swing highs on the hourly before we got here. But this is what we are looking for. This is the same, like nothing's changed, guys, from this week. Anyone who's in Discord will know that we have been looking for this all week long, right? All week long. We would have preferred the failed breakout. If we got the failed breakout, I'm telling you now, I would have taken SQQQ on a swing. We looked at this same trade I showed you guys yesterday. We're looking for the same thing. I will find it for you. I'm pretty sure I put it in the newsletter. I'm fairly sure I put these levels in the newsletter. Here we go. Same thing. Right. We started talking about this, reminding everyone on Discord. What's this? On the 9th. So like 3 days ago, here's the play, right? We were looking for a push, fail break above here, all the way potentially up to 800. But I think 600 would have held. And we're looking for this trade back down into the naked point of control. And you can see it here. If bears set another trap, it will look like this. All right. So this is what we were looking for. It's been there the whole time. So this is your covers should be down into here. This would be, what did we say? It's a 400 pointer for those that got it. 400 points. I mean, 400 points, and yet there are still people who are willing to come and challenge me here every day. That's what I find upsetting, guys. That's what makes it hard. For my ego, that's what I struggle with, because I feel like I give a lot out for free to help. My ego struggles when people say things like, I don't know what I'm talking about. That hurts my ego. That's something I have to deal with. Nathan Lee, appreciate your insight. What would you have to see to go long? Would you ever long or just play rejections all day? Yes, you can long once enough shorts get trapped. Right? So ideally at this point, right? Ideally, we want low-hanging fruit to be taken out. But like, let's say we come down here, we build liquidity like this for a while, right? And then we break down under this and shorts come flying in, and then we reclaim this and do this. Okay, then you can think about a long. You better know it's counter trend, but you can think about long. So you'd be TP, 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 right? And it wouldn't go straight up. It would be like this, this, maybe a dunk, this, all right, for example, right? This move here is the same thing. We build liquidity, we trap shorts, we take out low-hanging fruit, we reclaim, we go the other way. Until that point, what's your trend, right? Where's your initial balance? There's your IB. What are we doing? We're doing IB expansion, right? We're in a trend day, leaving volume. We tried to leave volume twice. This is the same play. Anyone who joined me yesterday, what did we look for yesterday? When I said, if we leave trap volume, the volume yesterday was up here. If we leave trap volume, we're going to try and come down here. All right, it's the same play. Anyone that joined me, we left, the volume moved down a bit, unfortunately, today to these sort of 200s. We've left trap volume. Where is the trap volume on this week? There it is. This is all the participation from Monday to now. So if these are all buyers, remember, these buyers are all looking to get up here, all right? I wanted them to come flying in here to then play that. This would have been a swing short position for me. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. Like I said, we don't always get what we want, but we are getting this, right? Naked point of control from last week. Our expectation is to come here. Now, we might bounce back off there and revisit there. That might be the new range for Friday next week. It might be that we puke and we start doing this now. I don't know, folks. I don't know. We can only trade what's in front of us. But the high probability move was from here to here. That's a very high probability move. Gold is on a crazy drop. Well, it looks like they're just selling everything right now. It looks like we're de-risking in the whole market right now. That's what it looks like to me. There's a full de-risk going on. Like, everyone's out of everything right now. That's the truth, right? So we are a risk-off environment at the moment. So if you've been, think about everyone who's been long since March, April last year. Right, think about how much of a percent they've made, right? And also gold. Remember, we said gold and silver. Anyone who's joined me, we were looking for failed follow through. You're going to see the same thing. GC. Maybe GC1. Hopefully, I've still got the drawings on here. All right. Remember, we talked about. I said I would be short here. Anyone again who joined me yesterday? Where would we be short from? Where's the volume? Look at the ledge. We went over this yesterday. You want to be short in here. You do not want to be long in there, right? Here's the volume. Have they found acceptance above? No. Anyone who bought here is trapped. Here's the sell. Here's the revisit. There's your short opportunity. Here's your cover point. Run as if it breaks down. Even better on silver. We went over this yesterday, guys. This is not like, oh, he's making it up. We went over this. That's not silver. You can see I've had it drawn back on. Same thing. It's the same principles, folks. Draw this on. Where's everyone stuck? That we have a node up here. If they can't get back over this node, all the buyers here are stuck. Here's your sell. They can't even pivot up into that. That's how weak this is. You'd be covering some into here, and you'd be looking for this now at this point, honestly. That's why, folks, this is how the market moves. It is not some magic thesis, right? It's just trap players. All it is, it's an auction of trap players. All right, you are almost there, guys. Another 100 points or so, another 80 points or so. Might be that they find a bid soon, but we will see. People being punished. Yeah, exactly. We talked about it, right? We've talked about this range on the Qs. It's really important you guys get in the habit of looking at higher time frames, right? We've talked about, even here, if we just measure out from this high, right? Where is everyone stuck? Why does it keep changing my volume color? It's very annoying, right? Everyone's stuck here, right? We're thin under here. Hopefully it's got my, it's lost everything. This is bullshit. All right, give me a second, guys. It's literally lost everything. We're going to change this. All right, from the pin high. Jesus Christ. Give me a second. I'll save a new template. Jesus. All right, from the pin high, look who's trapped. All right, so like someone just said, I've been calling it from 5th of November, which is like here from this high. This is where we failed, right? Here's all the trap volume. We've talked about this. The same principle we talked about today on the lower time frame. What is this right here? Hello. Guess what happened there? Same principle, okay? Exactly the same principle. Buyers, move this down so you can see it, sorry. Buyers came flying in here. Did we hold? No. Failed breakout. Rejection, same level. We're trading lower now, all right? We have buyers caught above us. Where are we going to trade to? Well, we can attempt to go for the last year. We can always do it from the swing low. Let's see if it would develop it. Won't it do it for us? We were about to find out. Get rid of this histogram. Give me a second. Okay. So if we are going to leave this, we've talked about this again. We are very, very thin in here, right? We are very, very thin in here. So from, I don't know what we call this, July to September, right? If we leave this right here, which is where we're coming down to test, and we get the Bollinger Bands expanding and the 5-day and the 20-day and everything trading down, we'll come back down to this 200. If we lose this 200 and we undercut this, we will probably wash to this node here, right? Sub 24,000. If we start losing that and we cannot hold these pivots here, all the volume is way down here at 22,600. So we are currently looking for a breakout underneath this swing point here from 25th of November. If we do that, we'll cover some in here and we'll then look for expansion into 23. We'll go over this in the weekly newsletter, 23,500. And if we get very heavy all the way down here, you might say that this is impossible. This is very much not impossible. Breakout, pullback. This is still very, very, very possible. If they want to do the dirty undercut, they'll come and take these stops, turn inside, and then we'll see how we go the rest of the year. It's very, very, very possible. Same thing that we look at on every single time frame. Look at flow zones just selling us down. So your final cover, remember, we are looking for 800s. We're looking for 800s. Sorry, there's so many questions here. I can't see all of them. What's my win rate? I always talk about this. Between sort of 68 and 74%. But I think that is skewed. All right. Remember, when I'm trading, I'm looking for big winners where possible. Lots of those wins are like break even plus 1 tick. It counts as a win. For me, it's not a win. You will see me on stream. If you turn up, you will see me numerous times take like 3 attempts at the same trade. The first 2 might count as a win. They're not. They're break even. The third one goes for me, or sometimes it doesn't, and then I miss it, you know? Yeah, I'm live every day, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, 9:15 Eastern time all the way into lunch. Half an hour left. How are we doing on the likes, folks? How are we doing on the likes? Almost at 1,000. Let's get this up to 1,000 likes if we can. Is this all CPI positioning? Lots of stops to tear through tomorrow. I mean, maybe, but like I said, we've just left all the volume. I mean, even if we hit this target today and turn around, where are we going to turn around to? 25,200. What do we expect to happen there? Sell, right? Sell. So we can do exactly what you're saying. Controlled selling. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, right? They might do this. But this is still a back test to sell then at that point, right? Right, very, very close. Start moving your stop down here a little bit if I was you. You were getting very, very close. You don't want to give it like too much size back here. Oh, I wish it hadn't stopped me out on this. I think it's second day in a row. For SPY swings, I mean, VIX is still going. We're in the 20s. I mean, this market can really bleed, guys. You have to understand that. I wouldn't be... Can there be a rebalance? Yeah, but what if CPI is bad and we go really risk off? A lot of you guys might be new. Like, we can go really risk off, really aggressive when we have multiple time frame buyers trapped for months and months and months and months and months and months and months. A catalyst event can cause us to go really, really, really risk off, right? Who are you using for prop firms right now? My top 5, like I always talk about: Lucid, Take Profit Trader, Apex, Tradeify, and Funded Next. They're my top 5. There's a video on my YouTube on them explaining which ones might be best for you. All right, QQQ coming into that 600 level. Very, very close. You're almost here, folks. Is anyone still in this for this 400-point banger? I would love to know another streamer who's giving you 400 points today for free. Some of you still in it. Oh, fucking hell, guys. I love it. I love it. Nice. Nice. You're almost there. You are almost there. Expect reactions to happen soon. I'll tell you what, there is a buyer down at 24,775. We are getting very, very heavy. You're very close. You're very, very close. Oh, you stopped that with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't believe they stopped me out. It was that spoof on the... Here you go. Here you go. You're basically there into the 800s. You can pay yourself on this flush. Do not overhold, right? Do not overhold. They're being very aggressive down here. You're basically there. Don't be a dick for a tick. You've got 400 points. Don't try and get the last 2 or 3 points if it doesn't give it to you. All right, at least pay yourself. At least pay yourself on this swipe. Do you use content on using footprint candles? I have a course on it. I don't do it for free. I give away too much. Flowzone now, so everyone taking dubs. I hope so. Wave Gaming, I'm out. I was down 1K. I'm now up 3.2 thousand. Thanks, Alex. This will help my wedding funds this year. Amazing. Oh, congratulations, get married as well. Best thing I ever did in my life. Uncle Hoodie, logging off. Thank you, mate. Made $10,000. I love it. Nice work. Nathan, getting my daughter ready for school. Okay. Are you going to be looking for reversal back up? I will consider it, but it's not the main trend I'm looking for. Remember, if you're going to play that counter trend trade, we are currently in a risk-off environment. I cannot say it enough, folks. We're in a risk-off environment. This can keep selling. We have so much volume trapped. Right, look at the mag. I'll give you a readout on the mag. Tesla, 2.11% down. Nvidia, 1.42% down. Microsoft, 1.24% down. Meta, 3.5% down. Google, flat, relative strength. Nice to see. Amazon, 3.05% down. Apple, 3.35% down. Look at some of these broader names. Thank God we took some profits on Hood. Hood, almost 10% down. That would probably be SSR tomorrow. Netflix, 5% down. Coming into key levels on Netflix. We are coming into some key levels. A lot of this market getting whacked right now. We are going full risk off on this market right now. There will be some good buying opportunities if we can keep dumping in this market. Hopefully we can. Hopefully we can. I want to just have a look at Goog, finding relative strength here. That is interesting to me. Where are we? And it's nowhere near where we need it. I'm surprised they're holding that up. That is going. There is a big old gap down here on Goog. Couple of gaps. Squeeze out on Goog. All right, look at that. Tag off that red line. You were pretty much there. Look, like I said, don't be a dick for a tick. You missed it by like 2-3 points. Be done with it. I would be done with it. Or be like the tiniest size ever left. You've just got 400-point trade live on stream with me. How many did I get? I think I got 100 and something, 120 points out of it before. It's this guy here, I think it was. One of these guys here who stopped me out by spoofing the tape higher and running me. Happens quite a lot to me at the moment. All right, so you got a 545 lot down at 800. Let's see if they take them out. 545 lot down at 800. I would not be bidding on this, folks. All right, please, 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 please. All right, we still, there are some sellers caught at 16s, but I don't like this yet. Like, it can squeeze higher, but you are asking for it, trying to dip by on a day like today. Just be happy with what you got. Hey Alex, thanks for all of this. On my TPT eval, I just hit the original profit target, but I was over 50%. Does that account reset once I hit, or does the money go towards the buffer? You're on eval. What do you mean? On an eval, it doesn't go towards the buffer. So if you've hit over 50%, you'll need to make a bit more money on the next day. They will tell you how much you need to make. Kino NM was down 200, almost blew the account, caught the short, now up 1,300 on the day. Runner got stopped out when you did, but normally give my profit back for the market walking away. Yeah, good for you. In the buy zone, yeah, potentially in a buy zone, but just know how heavy this market has been. Know how heavy the market has been. No clear box drawn above. I mean, this blue box is your biggest note, but look how thin we are. Like, there's some spikes, right? But this is a trend. This is typical of a trend day. This profile here is typical of a trend day. We can move this down. This grey box can come to here. This maybe can come to here. And this can go grey. It needs to be thinner technically, but I would not be bidding on this personally. How do you set up runners on the stop strategy on NT? If you go to the ATM strategy, you can split them into the amount of like TPs you have, and you can set them to like 50 points, 75 points, 100 points, and then you just drag them on your screen to where you see liquidity being. Up 2K done for the day. Nice work. Priska, W, the whole move, but in and out with micros. How do I change this? In and out with 1 or 2 micros. Priska, that's still good. You got the whole move, in and out. We can go over it. Right, you can always send it in Discord. We can go over that stuff and try and refine it. Azza, you absolutely rock. 100. We'll be buying the course. Thanks a million, mate. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Tesla, how low can it go? Today, do you mean, or in general? I mean, you still look okay. You're still holding 420s. Remember that last pivot last week was down towards that 200 day. We still have not undercut though. If you look at the pivots on Tesla from November 21st, November 17th, you haven't undercut them. It might need to undercut those. If not, then you would need to see sort of 420s, 409s hold. I think if you start losing those, you're going to undercut 385s, and then you can fill down to 370, 350 and lower. But we have to just see. Like, it's just a sell day, folks. Just like calm down. Calm yourself down, folks. It's just a sell day. It happens. You know, overall, we're down 1.60% on the NQ. It's not like we're fucking, you know, it's game over time. It's not game over time yet, but we are definitely de-risking. What is your stand in Bitcoin? I've made that pretty clear. I will tell you. This thing can come much, much lower. Here is my stand on it. Here is my stand on it, right? So I have nibbled IBIT and took a bit here, But this thing can come down towards 30,000. And no, I am not joking. This is my stand on it. If you're new here, this is why. 1,000-day, we've done the 1,000-day plus cycle. We expect 70 to 80% pullback. 1,000-day cycle, 70 to 80% pullback. 1,000-day cycle, 70 to 80% pullback. Okay, this is why. We've completed a 1,000-day cycle. It is possible they do a 78 to 80% pullback. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. But I would not put it past this thing being able to get down to 30,000. It might scare the shit out of you. It's very possible. Okay? It's very, very, very possible. Market environments can change very quickly. All right, look at that bid off that red line. Like I said, do not be a dick for a tick. All right? Do not be a dick for a tick. Would I consider going long some stocks today? I mean, you could if you're looking for a rebalance for tomorrow. But like I said, what happens if this is just the start of the de-risking environment? What happens? You're just fishing, right? Are you fishing off structure? We just faded value. So for me on Ninja Trader, we just tap value area low and we're failing it. So you need to see a high low here. You would need to see, if you're adamant on going long, which I am not, but if you're adamant, you would need to see 360 to 340 protected. If you don't see that, I don't see how this holds up. Alex, I just want to say you've helped me so much. I'm kind of mad I didn't get in this trade, but I was at class. I'm super excited for tomorrow. Yeah, awesome, man. Just remember, it's just one trade, right? There'll be another opportunity tomorrow, and there'll be another opportunity the day after, and like every day in the market, as long as we are leaving liquidity, we have opportunities. So they're starting to hold the dips. They haven't come and retested these 60s. I'd like to see them test 60s. There's a big seller at 90s if you're adamant of getting long for the relief. As soon as I get off stream, I'll approve any emails or requests for courses or rooms, I promise. As soon as we're done. We've only got 20 minutes left. Previous week value area low? I mean, possible, but this is a big area, right? This remember, this is fair value. From last week, this was considered fair value, all right? Could we get over last week's premium? No. Could we get over yesterday's premium? No. Could we find a bid at yesterday's cheapness? No. Where do we come back? Previous week's fair value. If we lose this, yes. Here, and then maybe there. We can look at that tomorrow. Don't ask for too much today, I would say. Might see relief here. Starting to rebid versus this now. They haven't come and tested this, but they might get relief up to here. I'm not going to take the longs today. Way too risky. Hardest trade in the book, in my mind. Do I trade minis and micros? Both. Depends on the account I'm trading. Your VP looks different to mine because you don't have tick data with this central pan. Maybe. I don't know. Just explain my last question. My new profit target is 2,900. Once I hit that, does that mean I am now 1,400 up on the account, or does it reset back to 25k? I didn't see the other question. I'm sorry, mate. So I don't know what you're asking. ETH, yeah, ETH for volume profile for me, unless it's on the weekly. Bro, I'm 3.16% on my account, and I've been wondering how and why, like, why this kind of community, because I've never seen such kindness. Thanks a lot. You're welcome, man. Here to help. Here to help. What do they call it? Like the pass it on to the next, or whatever they call it. Send it forward. Sending forward. Past a 50k eval. Ran consistency to the high on the second eval, so I need 900 more tomorrow. Thanks, Alex. You're welcome, Scott. Can you show the volume profile thing on gold? Yeah. Lots of you love gold, eh? Lots of you love gold. All right, they're stuck. Buyers are stuck over here. Simple as that. Buyers are stuck up here. Bounce, it's probably a fib, fade, cover some, hold runners on a daily. Pay it forward. Yeah, there you go. Pay it forward. W man, who gives 400 points on a live? I know exactly. Still learning Bollinger. Is Bollinger ending on previous week? Let me have a look for you. We're right there. We are pretty much right there. And move you to a daily. We're very, very close, right? We're very, very close. So think about what we've done. All right. Mean reversion, fail, Bollinger. Right? We don't expect, this is a 2 standard deviation move. We don't expect it to move down under that. If we get black swan events, if CPI, etc., give us black swan events, we will expand this Bollinger Band, right? We will do this, and we might undercut it first and then do this in the 5-day and 20-day, and we'll support this action down. All right. When's the last time we saw that? We can have a look. Clean this up a second. Last time we saw a big bear market. Okay, here, same kind of thing. I'll delete that for a second. Bull trap, fade, expansion, 5-day, 20-day, 50-day, mean reversion, expansion, mean reversion, expansion, undercut, the end of it. All right, so that's what we'll be looking for. If we're going to go into a bearish trend, we want 5-day Bollinger to start supporting that kind of work. Here as well, sometimes you get, wicks underneath. We don't expect to trade under it. Sometimes we'll get black swan. COVID would have been one. If we go back to 20, was this it? COVID, yeah. That was probably one. Even then, it held the bowl pretty well. All right. Just undercut it. Just undercut it. All right. So, can happen. But you'll see the bowls are very important. We don't like doing more than 2 standard deviations. Even here, 2018, even 08, I think we held the bowls. Was this the bowls, 08? Yeah. All right, even 08, financial crash, we held the bowls. Right, look at the bowls and 20-day. It's always the same, guys. It's always the same. So if it's always the same, statistically, you want to be placed the same way, right? You don't want to be looking for overexpansion. But yeah, good eyes. Whoever said that, I forget who just said it. Good eyes. Get this back on for me. Should we give away some stuff, folks? We haven't done it yet. The main thing you've helped me with today is confidence and being patient. Nice. Awesome. Does the 20-day bolds holding work for upside moves too? Yes, the same thing, right? So it's always the same thing. We don't expect markets to expand outside of daily Bollinger Bands. The mean reversion is the 20-day. Your trend indicator is the 5-day. If you just think about why this is, I teach it in the course, but I'll tell you now. 5 days, that's your weekly average, right? We trade 5 days a week. 20 days, that's your monthly average, right? There's 5 trading days a week, 20 trading days in a month. Your Bollinger Bands, 2 standard deviations each side of that. That's a maximum expansion under and over each. Yeah, please stop typing stuff in chat. Thanks, Adam. Nice one, dude. As in, stop spamming. Should I be framing my eval certificate and sign it for me? Sure, I'll sign it for you. Yeah, Twin Peaks is what I use. I can post it in chat for you if you are interested. All right, you get 5% discount here. How do you get in Discord? You have to do the beginner to advanced course. Discord's private. There's no weekly or monthly fee. It's just for people that do the course. All right, flowzonetrader.com, beginner to advanced course. They're going to try and revisit this. Like we talked about, there is some selling caught, but not a lot, right? Down here, not a lot. There's a couple guys caught, but like I said, if they hold 60 to 40s, that might be your first higher low. So you can see sellers piling in at the moment. If they hold 60 to 40, it might be the first higher low. And then if they get relief back inside here, then, so if they hold this dip, reclaim, there can be a swipe up towards these 25,000. It's what they're trying to do. It's why we kept saying if they hold 60s to 40s. But again, I would not personally be bidding on this, but that is where they will need to hold if they're going to do that move. We are very, very heavy and very, very bearish on the tape. For me, it's not something I would bid on, but just telling you, maybe it fits your appetite. How much is the course? 699 for the beginner to advance, 399 for the order flow. Thanks for the old soul wisdom. Well, old man wisdom, that's why. Well, I know lots of you be very upset when I call myself an old man because I'm 40 and some of you in chat are older than me, but I still feel old. How do you get the newsletter? Just click on the tab, the thing pinned in chat. Just click on newsletter. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. How much for the combo? Let me have a look. Don't even know my own prices. It's terrible, isn't it? So if you get the main one and the order flow, if you just want the two courses, comes to 998 currently. So if you want the 20-hour beginner to advance and the 6-hour order flow course, and with those you'll get Ninja Trader and a version of the Flow Zone Momo indicators, 998. Alex, my first week as a paid member, and I'm extremely happy with your explanations. I'm starting to understand why it moves certain ways. That's awesome, Joe. That's all that matters, right? Honestly, when you start out, people get so fixed on making money in P&L, but you don't know the game. You don't understand the game yet. This is a giant game. That's all it is. It's a game of who can be patient and who can't. Who can be patient, who can we trap, and who can we use? Who can be patient, who can we trap, maybe who can we use? Big fucking maybe here if they're going to do it, because there's still a chance to do this, but we could do relief and then sell. It's all it is. It's a big game. Once you understand the game, right, how the game works, then you need to understand the tells, all right? What are the tells? Tells are when people get stuck above levels or below levels. Tells are when people get stuck above levels. Tells are when people get stuck above levels, right? Then we need to understand, okay, well, they've told us, they've shown us that they're in at the wrong place. How do we exercise their pain for us? We wait for them to start stopping out and we use them, right? It's the game. That's the game. The other part of the game is when we're building, waiting for people to tell, is having the discipline to not be involved. The discipline, if you're playing poker, it's a pass, 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 like I did this morning. Pass, pass. What have I got here? Jack, jack. All right, small blinds. All right, let's see the flop. Ooh, my jack, jack suddenly looked really fucking good. And that guy's just shown me that he's bullshitting. All right, I'm betting a bit more. Oh, my jack jack looks even better now. I'm betting a bit more. I'm betting a bit more. Okay, thank you. I'm having all your money. And then we wait again. Pass, 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 pass. Queen ace. Oh, fuck, I'm licking my lips. What's that guy got over there? Oh, he's bluffing like he's got this. He hasn't got it. Okay, little bit on. Big blind. Little bit more of a bet. He's starting to sweat. All fucking in. Well, maybe never all in, but like big position in. Okay. Money, 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 money. Done. Leave the table. Go have a cocktail. Do something fun. Right? Makes sense? You want my DJ skills? Well, I don't have any decks here with me, unfortunately. They're all back in London at the moment. The Ninja Trader software, guys. I just posted it in, and let me see if we can post it again. All right, it's right here. The stuff that you're looking for in Ninja Trader. That link there will give you 5% off. Yeah, I've got 1210s, and I've got 2000 Nexus Mark IIs or whatever they were. and a load of other stuff from Pioneer, which I should probably give back to them that they gifted me. Yeah, boiler house set. We will do a boiler house set. I promise you guys, we'll do a boiler house set. I will do a boiler house DJ set. I'll get some decks soon. Maybe I'm really considering moving house at the moment, so maybe after that. So I've got to get some nice space. Somewhere you can go to hear my music. Well, my old music is under Tough Love. You can look it up anywhere. And some of my new aliases, I haven't really told you guys this. I do have an alias. It's very small. I do it for my own pleasure, called Adian. All right. You guys have smashed the likes. I need to give back to you guys. Let me set this up. Please don't do anything yet. Please, please, please don't do anything yet. Let me set it up. Okay, the best code for Apex and all your prop firms, all right, FCT. Other than if you're trading with Take Profit Trader, use code FlowZone. Type FCT in chat once now. Please don't spam it. Just type it once, and we will pick a winner for a free Apex account. I promise, guys, I can see lots of you emailed. As soon as I get off stream, I'll get onto all of it. There's been like 34 of you email me since I've been on stream, so just give me a chance. I promise you I'll get round to it. Anyone who's like asked for access into it, I will sort it all out, I promise you. Okay, so still seeing them try and bid off these levels, giving you a chance to do that. So we can still see these same participants where this seller came in. Remember we said 60s to 40s. Another seller came in. They're still trying to absorb 60s to 40s right now. Buyers know if they absorb that and they pivot over 900, they have a squeeze. If they fail 60s to 40s, there will be a reflush all the way down here and fill some of these imbalances. All right, bids underneath. I'm going to have a quick look. There is a bid at 800, a 550 lot, and there's a 100 lot at 780. I'm keeping going down. And then there is a bid at 700. All right, so there are bids lower. You might get a breakdown if they can get under these 40s. I would not be entering short down here, guys. You've had the 400-point trade. Be disciplined. Do not chase it. Alex, the lightning at the bottom of the screen, it will be news. So it's just news. Wall Street on track to open higher as markets pass economy data. It's just news. Jolts, jobs, jolts, rare bets. It's just news. It's Reuters stuff. It's not important. It's already been and happened. Okay, pulling a winner here. How many trades do I do per week? I cannot answer that, my friend, because how many setups are there per week? Sometimes there are 3 or 4 setups in a day. Sometimes there's one, sometimes there's none. It's whatever sets up. Okay, Mopar 300s. Are you here? Mopar 300s. Mopar 300s. Here, nice, Mopar. Okay, all I would like you to do is email me, please. info@flowzonetrader.com. All right, info@flowzonetrader.com. And send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I know it's you. And if you do that with you logged in, I will send you a free Apex account of any size you want. Super Troid, any advice how to break out of patience and watching waiting? I watch my setups come and go and never take them and play out perfectly. It's like I give myself PTSD. So you're not taking the setups, you're saying? So are you waiting or you're not waiting? So you're watching and waiting. I watch my setups come and go. So that means like you're not taking them by the sounds of it. You need to start putting risk on. If you see your setup, start sim. Prove to yourself that you understand your setup. Then start with 1 micro. All right, and get used to taking that setup so that you've got to build up your tolerance. You have to build up your tolerance. You don't want to be putting trades on and instantly feeling anxious. And when you start trading, you probably will feel like that. And if you start trading with too much size, you will really feel like that. All right, so you need to get used to like putting risk on having your stop in the right position, be like, okay, I'm going to risk $100 on this trade. There's my stop. There's the swing point. That makes sense. I'm in this. If I lose that trade, I lose $100. I'm absolutely fine with that. All right. What you don't want to do is put risk on and be like, my stop's there. It's $5,000. Fuck. I'm anxious. I can't afford to lose that. Take the trade off. Right. So that's why I say size down. You've got to build up the tolerance. It's like going to the gym. You start doing bench press. You don't go straight up to 300 pounds. Right. You build your way up to it. Yeah, contest over, guys. Alex, can you do your bookmap analysis magic on gold? I don't have Comex, so I can't, I'm afraid. I don't pay for Comex data on gold, so I can't actually look at it, I'm afraid. I only pay for CME data because I don't trade gold actively. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with lots of you saying you're going to do the course. It'll be fun. Okay, we're going to do a giveaway. It's the introduction course, right? It's not the 20-hour course, not the other course. It is just the full introduction. It's 2 hours long. It's very good for complete novices and beginners, all right? So just type course in chat once, and we'll do a giveaway for that person. So just type course in chat once. That's what should we look at for a possible afternoon long. It's exactly what I said. Remember when we said about the longs? What I would need to see is a lot of liquidity build out, a swipe with bears entering in, and a recovery of that. So we now know bears have entered at the lows, we've recovered volume, and we can look up. That's the only way I would look long, personally. I'd want this to swipe people out. I'd want shorts who... Think about the psychology. All the guys who didn't get short up here with us are now like, right, I'm going to short the lower day, right? It's them. It's them that we want. That's the most ideal. At the moment, we are still holding 40s and 60s. There is a chance they squeeze this up at the moment, but the problem is, without swiping all of this out, this can be a second leg, which is then just sold back into. All right, but the most preference, the best trade for me, if you're going to go long, will be a swipe, shorts entering, big blocks down here, being absorbed, turn around, this and this, maybe up to there if you got very, very bloody lucky. But that is the hard. I will tell you now, this trade here is the hardest trade in the book. That is the hardest trade in the book. The easiest trade in the book is this trade here, and then ignoring all of this. That is the hardest trade in the book. It can pay very well. It is the hardest trade in the book. Talk about it all the time. It's not the pro trend, the counter trend trade, hardest trade going. All right, give you guys a couple more seconds to do this. All right, we're going to pull the winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. FX by Hunter. Are you here, FX by Hunter? Still looks like it wants to trade lower here at the moment. Really does. If they don't absorb 40s and 60s, this will snap. But we still have a bid down at 800. FX by Hunter. Let me know you're here, mate. Otherwise, we're going to re-roll this. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds to tell me you're here in chat. FX by Hunter. Yeah, there we go. All right, congratulations, mate. Same thing for you, please. Email me info@flowzonetrader.com and I will sort you out with the complete beginner course, Introduction to Trading. And if you complete that course, I tell you now, you do get a discount off the main course. So hopefully, if you're interested, you at least complete it. It's good for complete novices. Let's see what you guys are saying and get out of here soon. We just got into lunch, folks. Just remember that. You're watching me and Jaded live from DJ Mag, man. That's a long time ago. Fucking hell. That is a long time ago in the old DJ Mag offices. Is that the old offices or was that downstairs? I'm going to have to look at it now. I think we did it twice with them. I A&R'd them and signed them. Oh, here we go. Yes, the old offices, man. And the other one is Get Twisted with, who do we have? Kadeko and someone else. We've done a few. Does my strategy work as good as gold? Yes. It works on everything. It's not... I'm trying to think how to explain this. Here's the lift, guys. They protected. They're going to lift up to here now. If they get through this, there's a swipe. Like potentially over lunch, they swipe it up a little bit. Be very careful though. This is just how the market works. It's not like this is how I play it, but this is how all markets work, right? All markets work the same way. So like we always talk about, it doesn't matter if it's gold, if it's a physical asset, if it's oil, if it's anything, right? If we deem this price is too expensive and too many buyers, let's just do that old Rolex thing, right? Your Rolex Daytona, right? Let's say this is like COVID times, and up here a Daytona was costing you 50K. And news comes out that we're now going to produce more Daytonas and there's a new Daytona. Okay, well that 50K is suddenly worthless. So everyone starts dumping it. They're getting out. It comes down here and it's now worth 20K. All right, that Daytona is now worth 20K. All right, that is now cheap. All right, that's the same price. I know this is previous week. Let's just pretend it's COVID. It's now the same price as it was in 2016. Oh, that's fair value. We like that. We'll buy that at 20K. And hope that we get back up somewhere towards 30 or 40 or 50K, and then we'll sell. It is an auction. We leave one side of the auction because we're too expensive. We search for fair value. Fair value is deemed by price going sideways for a bit. If we deem this too cheap, we will leave fair value and look for fair value somewhere else, which might be here. For example, it doesn't matter what you're trading, what you're talking about. It's the same thing. Think about this. Think about the very basics of a market. Like for me, I always talk about Ridley Road Market because I used to live in Dalston. But think about your local market or fair that you go to, okay? That are selling apples and pears, right? Just think about this. This might be stupid, but just hear me out. They're selling apples and pears, a fruit stall, all right? And it's like up here, maybe it's 5 apples for $10, all right? All right, but it gets to end of day and they want to dump their inventory. They're like, we don't want to sell these apples tomorrow. They're not worth as much. So at the end of the day, it's 5 apples for $1. All right, because they're like, let's get rid of this. We don't want to hold this. All right, and we'll come back tomorrow. That's like a good example of it. And now everyone waits. They don't want to buy it here because they know, hey, we know if we wait long enough, we can get it for $1, for example, right? That is how the market works. That is an auction. Doesn't matter what you're trading. That's the auction. How can you backtest order flow or practice without live markets? I don't know if you can do it in TradingView. I don't think you can do it in TradingView. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you could necessarily backtest it. I think you're going to dump lower here, folks. I think you're going to come and take that out. They're really trying to get under these 40s. Is there a method to recognizing a V-shaped reversal? V-shape need to come immediately after no drop or con. The V-shape will be when there's big excess, right? It's the same thing. So if this is fairly controlled, but if we'd done like this down here, big wick, and this is all sellers, heavy sellers, and we turn around and they're huge size, then they will cover very quick, right? This isn't a V-shape now. This is potential as they hold to do a bit of relief. But again, you would have to respect every single node in here. So they are battling right now. They are really battling. I haven't looked at the order flow for a minute. Let me just have a look. This seller is still caught. This seller here is still caught. 55s. Same guy. He's still caught right now. He can't get price under. So if we pivot now over these buyers at 900, there is release, I would say, up to 60. So if they can get over 900s, there is potentially, again, it's counter trend, hardest trade in the book. There's potentially a move up to 60 where this last block of big sellers came in. Right, so if they can get over 900s, if they leave this seller, probably got to move it up for you. If They leave this seller here caught, this seller here caught. If they hold above him at 50s and they get above this shelf at 900s, there's potentially a move back up to 60s where these last big sellers came in. But I would not be playing it personally. It's very, very, very hard to trade that in a very heavy market. All right, that is going to be the last question I take today, folks. Thanks for joining me this morning. Hopefully you learned something. Don't forget, smash that subscribe and like button. I will be back here tomorrow morning. We're going to close this week out strong on a Friday. Those in Discord, I will be popping in there this afternoon. The only thing I'm really looking for at this moment would be a swipe of low-hanging fruit and to see if we trap players. I don't really want to look for more downside unless we push fairly aggressively higher, and I don't really want to look for upside unless we swipe, actually, which ES has done and starting to recover. So we should watch that carefully on ES. So ES, by the way, those looking, ES has actually done the move I would be looking for right there, right here. That is the undercut. I would prefer more excess on this, but this is the kind of move we want. Breakout sellers would prefer excess down into here and then a turnaround and then relief. All right, trap sellers under here and then relief. That's the only thing I'd look for the rest of the day. Otherwise, you know, it's going to keep selling. Thanks everyone. Thanks for all the new members. Appreciate you all. 257 Joker, thank you for joining. Thanks everyone. Love trading with you guys. Be safe, be smart. Don't forget, follow me on X and all the other stuff at Flowzone Trader. Drop me a tweet or a message or something. Let me know if you got those 400 points today. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace and love. Use hard stops. All that good stuff. Be kind to each other. Take care.